into with no experience in television whatsoever, and made a tremendous number of mistakes for the first year. I mean, still make mistakes every year, but I think, but hopefully learning as we go and improving things. But we just didn't have any production experience, so we came in kind of knowing how we wanted to write it, but not knowing anything about the casting process, the editing process, working with visual effects, working with a production designer, all that stuff that you need to know, and it's been a steep learning curve.
They would get behind a project and they would give it a solid commitment.
We'd never produced anything for television before. We'd never produced anything for film or internet or anything. We'd written before, but we never produced. So when we went to George, probably it was probably like that bluff where you mistakenly think you have a straight and you actually don't. But we were so confident that I think we convinced George that, well, these guys seem like they really know what they're doing.
I said, I want it done. I want a faithful adaptation of the books. And they said, that's what we want to do.
Yeah, mistakes. That's a funny way of saying driving people to exhaustion and nearly killing your actors. Anyway, let me start off. Welcome back to the show after a long absence, Miss Neph Champion.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Yeah, my sleep schedule is just so messed up. I keep trying to get it back to what it should be, but I just can't for some reason.
Yeah, you have my sympathy. Last night I went to sleep at about 11, relatively normal. And the next thing I know, I have to go to the bathroom at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that sometimes happens to me. I get up to do business and thinking, I'm just going to go back to bed after I'm done. And then when I look at the clock again, it's 6.
And then I can't get back. Oh, I couldn't get back to sleep until 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we must bring in our resident dead eunuch.
Mm-hmm.
This is... Wait, hold on. Go back to that one. You're going to have to clarify that because me and you're going to have a word here.
Yeah.
Hey, Becca, you can come on. I've put the link should be available to you if you want to come on. And if not, that's fine. I just want you to know that your presence is definitely welcome. Hello, Tyler Preston. Lovely to see you as ever. We also have our resident Holy Exterminator.
My old enemy. You cannot hide from me.
The short night.
Oh, yeah.
So, what about the dragon slaying you were talking about, huh?
Uh-huh.
You're already dead. What are you talking about?
That was slain like bullshit. Quiet, you.
Yeah.
He was banned for Hex, right? Anyways, so it's fine. The teleporting admin killed him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh-huh.
And of course, our resident lovable curmudgeon, aka the Black Grinch. Please welcome
that's
Compularian.
be no dragon slaying, please.
Yeah, we have our black scaly grid.
Oh.
Yes. Oh,
The way you word that, I'm like, oh.
Well, if we're not gonna have dragon slaying, we can prepare for a dragon battle.
Okay.
That's true.
Bright Lord chap.
Well, I mean, unless it's a woman, then I'm fine with dragon slaying. Then, I guess if you know what I'm talking about.
Ah.
Hey, dragon demand.
Well, nothing. I didn't mean anything.
I have a question for Bright Lord. Sorry.
Sure, go for it.
Now that you're showing the screen, do you want us to help you with the reading?
If you want. Ooh, we have our resident Brit has arrived. Very pleased to have her. Please welcome Becca.
Yep, that's me.
Hail, Brightness.
Hello there.
Greetings, Becca.
If you guys want to help me, if you guys want to help out with the read, that's totally cool. So before we kind of start, this kind of marks a bit of a turning point in the show, and I want to kind of talk about it first. So I want to pose a question to you guys. Why was Game of Thrones so popular up to, I think, even season 6 and 7?
I think Game of Thrones was popular until like episode 4 or 5 of season 8, when the casuals are concerned, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to remember, they were still pretty on board, even with the Arya killing the Night King scene.
Mm-hmm.
Except that, no, it should have been Jon, because that was his storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the main reason why people were still invested, or the show was still popular up through season 7, was because of the sunk cost fallacy. People were already invested in the characters, so they'd rather keep saying the show was good than admit that it was bad.
I think another thing that kind of people really liked is the spectacle.
And the music.
Yeah. Too bad it's retarded.
Yeah, the music is like the best. I mean,
I think Dragon's words were, it was about the living versus the dead, and then comes along the one person who goes, no, it's all about the throne, when it wasn't.
Wait. Hold on. They were having they were going back and forth. I'm missing the context.
I'm bringing up something Dragon said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see, there were a number of
basically it's like they didn't fully understand the conflict. Like
Even though they keep putting it in the dialogue many times.
I think the main issue is just they're Lena Headey fanboys.
One other thing is that, if I remember correctly, George R. R. Martin was saying that the ending would be pretty much the same as in the show as in the book. So we're like, okay, so if the ending is going to be pretty close to what he had in mind, then even if the way we get there is rubbish, then the ending itself should be okay, because if it's what
the thing is, they've given some very inconsistent statements about how close the show is to the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it turned out that was absolute rot.
Oh yes, for dang sure. That's a major problem.
Honestly, that ending kind of got burned out by season 8 for me anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want a different ending out of spite of the show by this point.
Well, now all we need to do is watch the Boston University live reading of the live thing.
I'm like, people still want a season 9. I'm like, why would you want a season 9 built off the foundation of season 7 and 8?
Well, there's nothing more. What would it be? Bran Stark is the villain.
Well, they'll do some really fucking weird shit, like revive Dany or some shit with Drogon.
Yeah, he brings her to the Red Priest, and they revive her, and she comes back with fire and blood.
Depends on which one.
Like some kind of fire away.
I have seen both. I've seen both.
I've seen part of the 40-minute highlight reel.
I've seen it, but it's been like a year.
So the major points are Benioff and Weiss were working their actors and their production team to death, such as having the crew dig the trench that you see in the episode rather than using machines. They dug it by hand.
Like,
why?
With shovels and
why?
Yes, because they wanted it to look authentic.
Oh, go fuck yourselves.
It will still look authentic if you use machines.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering that it was so dark you couldn't see jack shit the whole episode.
Anyway, so why bother? And the only time I expect anyone to do things by hand is when they're trying to figure out something about archaeology with how they built stuff and to see how long it would take. That's all I expect from that, not from something like this.
Yeah, big problem. I think another thing was, so we've got like some cost fallacy. There's also, I think another thing about Game of Thrones was they were really attached to the characters from the first few seasons, and they wanted to see the ending. But the problem is, and the problem eventually became the slowly descending quality, and they're just like, oh, well, the first few seasons were really good. The next few will be really good. So
I think what also helped the sunk cost fallacy was also the Game of Thrones YouTubers. Some of them, like with the speculations.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. I'm not saying anything bad about them. It's like, I used to be so into that kind of stuff, like into the theories and stuff between season 6 and 7.
It was really depressing looking back at them. Like, they were so into it, and they were so looking forward to something cool happening. And it was like they had to justify everything, and slowly they'd like drop off one by one, going, actually, this is bad.
Remember when they thought like Littlefinger actually faked his death, and there was like a thing coming up with?
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
I forgot that.
It was like he hired a faceless man or something.
You can't have been that stupid. She must be the waif.
No, because there was like that split-second scene. You would see Littlefinger talking to a person.
So, not in reference to machinery, as in, like,
they had cranes. They didn't have bulldozers.
Or
we're talking about building sets for a TV show, not in universe.
It's basically like their idea was they didn't want, say, a like a giant tractor, or like anything that could move all the dirt. Or in a timely fashion.
What they
funny
would
thing
have
is,
had.
have any of you seen the channel Invicta?
Invicta?
I know of
him.
I checked that out.
I have heard of it. I have heard of it,
because
but
that is a channel that made some infinitely better strategies for the last couple episodes of Game of Thrones. And one of the things he has is a trail of spikes. You could make those by hand if you wanted to make it authentic.
Different than plows, basically like just
Yeah, they were digging trenches like with out of the ground, so they would need like the tools that dig into the ground, like machinery, not plows. Those like just for snow and stuff.
Basically, they have machines, but they didn't have. But they were pre-industrial machines. They were pre-industrial revolution machines. They did have machines, but they didn't have. Well, it was pre-industrial revolution, so it was before the 18th century.
Yeah. It's a traditional building that, it's kind of just like, I guess like maybe isn't a real problem. I guess what I'm thinking is just like it fits into the pattern of lots and lots of wasted time.
Lots and lots of waste. Like a lot of this whole, like they seem to like worship practical effects because that's the good thing all
it's
the time.
The scale thing.
You know, I really feel bad for the cast and crew. They put so much fucking work into this show, with, like freezing 72 nights in that fucking frozen hell, and this is what none of their shit gets remembered because the whole fucking show was a piece of shit by the end. Like the scripts and the writing was absolute dog shit.
The Poshers got no sleep, and then
just pissed all over the.
Not quite as big as the trench they made. They, as far as I'm aware, it's just they just use shovels to dig the trench.
They wanted to be they wanted to look as real as possible, quote unquote.
Fucking practical. I'm getting like J.J. Abrams vibes from The Force Awakens.
Actually, I would actually say that J.J. Abrams is actually a more legitimate filmmaker than these two.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, way more.
I know.
I'm saying that he uses a lot of spectacle and just no fucking writings. Just very.
Yeah, he's got a bit. Yeah, J.J. Abrams is basically just he's
just writing up nostalgia for the entire movie.
Yeah, he's basically a rip-off artist, in many respects, is what he.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll move away from Star Wars. It's just and like he sold Force Awakens on practical effects, even though.
How can you not talk about Star Wars?
Yeah. Yeah, they both suffer
not
from.
Talk about Star Wars. Oh my god.
We've got 23 pages to go through.
Decided that they were going to rush this so that they could get to their Star Wars gig. Except they don't have a Star Wars gig anymore.
No, this is going to be 23 pages, so we probably should not go off on Star Wars tangents.
Yeah, the old man, he knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the point that I was kind of getting at is
the Scary Grinch knows what we're doing. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The point that I was getting at is that in the last 15 years or so, there's been a very strong pushback against computer-generated effects.
Yeah, it's like the hip thing.
There's a practical effects are very strongly favored, and I can see why. But
there's no such thing.
Sometimes using practical effects is either inappropriate or just a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is,
and time.
People say there's bad CGI in movies. I said no. I'm quoting somebody else. There's no such thing as bad CGI. There's a thing as rushed CGI. Like, if you know what I'm saying.
Can agree with that.
I would actually disagree.
There are bad CGI things like Blarp from Lost in Space. Blarp from Lost in Space is hideous.
You can spend a lot of time on designing something, but if the design is poor, then the production value is going to go to waste.
That's not the CGI. That's the design of the object.
The thing is that
but if the CGI is poorly designed, or what you're supposed to make with the CGI is poorly designed, then it counts as bad CGI.
Or if the CGI is like something like, who here has seen Lost in Space?
I haven't, but I've heard of the atrocity in it.
Maybe I should refine. rushed and lazy CGI. Like not a lot of effort put into it.
Well, the thing is that you get that with practical effects as well. Like it's just they're both types of effects, just done differently.
Oh yeah, the fucking BBC Narnia dragon. That fucking
Oh my god, that was so horrible.
Jurassic Park 3 comes to mind in terms of bad practical effects.
Well, in terms of bad practical effects, you know what else comes to mind?
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Game
of Thrones.
No,
dear Lord, no.
Yeah. That is what I mean by bad CGI. Like, this is what I am referring to.
That's just cheap.
Well, Game of Thrones wasn't.
By the way, do any of you guys remember Killer Croc in Suicide Squad?
The original.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I think I do. I haven't seen the movie physically. Like, I saw EFAB cover it, and I was just like, wow. This is the worst Joker ever, and the plot makes no sense. So, hi, new person in the chat. Welcome.
Hi.
Oh yeah, the Scorpion King Mummy Returns is really bad.
Oh my god, that looks awful.
That was so memey.
Yeah, that's the Blarp, a CGI abomination from Lost in Space.
I see. We're going on like an EFAP like type tangent here now.
Yeah.
We should probably.
Yeah. Okay.
May I point something
Get
out?
on with the points.
Yeah. Go for it.
If I may, Game of Thrones was not improved by not using CGI. And by using practical effects, it did not help Game of Thrones. And that's you're looking for all these examples of bad practical effects. Well, Game of Thrones, I don't know if the practical effects themselves are bad, but the practical effects did not help it get better.
And it was a waste of money. Like the staircase that cost $10,000, and just somebody looked at it
and labor
for a minute.
Waste of labor too.
Yeah.
And I didn't even see this staircase.
Yeah, it's so poorly lit is the issue.
That's a major theme of this entire show.
If you're proud of your practical effects, you should want people to see them.
I think
Which means the lighting has to be good.
Yeah.
Use them.
Yeah, and it's just like he wanted to. Yeah, that's a good point. They throwing money at would make good looking CGI. Yeah. The problem with their like line of thinking is they want to be surrounded by the practical stuff. They want to like have that around them because Benioff seems to have a massive inferiority complex.
Well, I also feel like
on top of his narcissism,
it kind of plays into the whole thing. You know, with the scripts, how like they're insistent that if you're surrounded by the feeling of the thing, then it will come across to the audience. You know what I mean? So in the script, it's got all this random fluff that you're not going to see. And in the same way, like this, if the actors are surrounded by all the stuff on the set, then it'll come through. You know, and it's just stupid, pretentious bullshit that doesn't make sense.
Yes. Note Dragon's thing before then too. They thought hiring 250 stuntsmen automatically equaled a quality story.
Nope.
And it's mainly like they're like the VX. Yeah, I totally exonerate the VFX team completely. Like I'm just like, you poor people, you had to deal with these two. But yeah. And I think like people really like. I think that the reason was just like people had a lot of goodwill stored up, and then this episode kind of killed it. Actually,
because it destroyed the thematic point of the show. It turned the main story into a pointless side quest.
Did you see Dubcock's and Nerdrotics reviews of it? Like there was like a supercut of them reviewing episode 1, episode 2, and then episode 3. It just fucking fell down the hole. Like they're all excited about season 8, episode 1, and then they're happy about episode 2, and then bam, episode 3 happened.
Oh wow, I didn't notice that.
Oh my god!
What?
Never.
Oh yeah. Glide. I started watching that, and it's interesting to note that the worst four are all from season 8.
Of course.
Ouch.
Damn, Blarion, do you have something to say? Do you have like some kind of no clip ability or something?
Do I have what?
Yeah, that is very surprising.
Do you have intangibility?
Yeah, that is actually a very interesting point. I had no idea about that. Well, let's get started. Alrighty.
We can help you read, like I said.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We're 25 minutes in and we haven't even started.
Oh Christ!
This is going to be a long.
Yeah.
This is going to be longer than the This is going to be longer than the long night.
Oh yeah. The long night was not that long. It's like the longest half hour and a half.
Well, so everybody keep in mind what we've been talking about from the beginning. It will provide some context for this. At least I hope it does. Since this is going to be weird. Alrighty, so first off, we have Longest Night. Winterfell's courtyard was covered in snow, dirt, and blood. Wood logs burned in fire pits, throwing off heat and smoke. Stiff corpses bearing all manner of gruesome injuries lay in crumpled piles from the walls. The Stark banners hung limply. I mounted the slippery stairs and walked along the castle's creaking ramparts, passing through cramped battlements. Near the top of the gate, there were gaps in the parapet wall, offering a dizzying view of the battlefield stretched out below. On the field were hulking trebuchets that were not used.
That should have been on the ramparts. Goddamn idiots.
Or behind the walls.
Yes.
I guess I is Hibbard. Mr. Hibbard.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, the slippery floor, so that can you go on the top of the
Okay, so Dragon the Man's pointed this out in the chat, and I'm going to point it out again. This is not journalism. Like, this is the kind of shit that... Yeah, this is like the kind of shit that you put in a vapid-ass video essay.
This is, dare I say, the same stuff that Benioff and Weiss put in their fucking scripts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As always.
He learned screenwriting by reading screenplays, not by reading the manuals. I'm sorry, you can't do that.
Well, you can to a degree, but I'm not convinced he's even read fucking screenplays, to be honest, because that's not what they fucking look like.
According to him, he
just sat down and read a bunch of scripts, but he never examined them, and what you see in his scripts, how he writes them, is just like
it's like an excerpt from a novel.
You're writing a book.
It's kind of the same way that he doesn't analyze any of the characters and just writes a bunch of stunt castings for their actors.
Remember the part when he was concerned that Kit Harington didn't like something, and he was like, "Did we mess up? Did we mess up?"
Yep, that's this last chapter.
I'm like, I wonder how much that relates to the fucking ending of the show.
Oh dear! Wow, that is a waste of time.
Oh my goodness!
Really realized he just said.
Oh my god! Is
he still attached? Isn't he really? Wait, did he? Okay, we need to read that at some point. Dang.
Oh god.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I'm gonna look this up immediately.
Oh
shit! I'm going on Twitter right now. I'm gonna actually verify this.
Does this mean that Cogman is writing for the Amazon prequel thing? The one with the sex scenes?
I am hearing "Nearer to My God" by Thee right now in my head.
I thought that he was. I thought that he was kicked off. I thought that he was kicked off the project.
I can't remember what I
The
last
Lord of the
heard
Rings
about
Titanic has hit the Cogmanberg.
Yeah.
Look, it's gonna be
Oh
raw.
my goodness.
It's going to be raw anyway. Without Cogman.
Okay, so according to him, in a pinned tweet, I would just like to remind people that I'm merely a consulting producer on Lord of the Rings. I helped them get started 2 years ago now. I had a blast. I moved on to develop my own shows.
Oh,
You'll hear more about those in the coming weeks.
oh, we are
The
very
showrunners
interested in
and
those.
staff are outstanding people and incredible talents that I have no knowledge of or any comment on the report about the budget.
Wait, they left her after season 1, so he was involved in season 1.
Oh.
Oh no.
This is going to be a long chapter.
Yeah, this tweet was posted yesterday.
So it's.
Can you send me a link? I want to.
Yeah, I can
see
send it.
this.
I can send it in
I
the
also
chat.
want to see like his Twitter rant. I want to excusing the writing. I really want to see that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that. But for now, that pinned tweet is in the private chat.
Okay.
I really like how much influence does his influence
I
have?
imagine very little, because even though it seems like Amazon, Lord of the Rings is a mess, it's not that much of a mess.
I don't think Cogman's going to make it much worse than it's going to be anyway.
Okay, so there is another tweet that he made in response to someone named Galafane at TolkienTube. Thanks for clearing this up. A lot of people thought you left unamicably. I look forward to watching the show. Bunch of hashtags. The response, to be clear, I was never in the conversation to be showrunner. Payne and McKay got the job long before I became involved.
Okay.
Okay. Part of expanding Winterfell.
Yep.
Being able to show spaces that were never been shown before, blah, blah, blah. We never understood where the food came from. We still don't know.
What?
But that's because where the food comes from is
that's not
not
even the complaint that people have.
We didn't know anyway.
You brought up the food problem.
Oh, this is a good one coming up. I'm sorry. This is a good one coming up. But had anybody understood in season one where the show would be heading?
Where the show would be.
Oh God, that just stands out. So I have to make a note of that. Sorry.
Send the link. Once we are finished with this, we will read it. It can't be that long.
Okay, the longest half hour. I'm making a note. The longest half hour.
Yeah. All right. So we will keep going, and I'll just read through this a lot. Okay. Okay. Deep trenches lined with wood stakes, hundreds of uniformed men preparing to fight. My breath was icy. The freezing rain had begun again. Somewhere the assistant director yelled for extras to reset their marks. This is not a tea party. Come on. Sir Davos walked past. I signed it for a character piece, he sighed. Makes sense. During the first season of Thrones, Winterfell set was constructed in the middle of a sheep field. The cast was impressive, but with 2017, the production and rebuilt it 3 times its original size for the final season, The Great Battle Between the Living and the Dead. You now wonder...
By the way, I'm looking through Cogman's Twitter right now. Apparently, he has a list of his top 25 Game of Thrones episodes.
Okay.
On number 23 is The Long Night.
Oh, good Lord.
Interesting.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, if you want to join the Discord and post that there, the link is in the description. That would be great. Like, you can totally post screenshots there, and it can give you due credit. Thank you. We greatly appreciate your help here. We want to give this show as much thorough coverage as we can now, so that we can take a lengthy break.
Yeah.
Once we're done with this book, I am done with this show for the foreseeable future. I just don't want
This series is opening up so many wounds right now.
That's gonna be tragic, though.
I can feel the ice javelin going right through me again. It's quite horrific.
Our soul will be destroyed if we can't rant about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but what are we going to use Balerion for?
we talk about our scaly swarthy Grinch man is useful for many things, like talking about conlangs and writing structure and weird Lord of the Rings parodies with giant waifu titty things.
You didn't need reminding of this.
Yeah. If worse comes to worse, I can just say bizarre things. Oh, one cross-dressing monkeys.
Oh,
that too, yeah.
I just had to say that.
Let's not.
And passing law and an Aegon the Fourth type king passing laws where nobody could be allowed to wear clothes.
It's just nobody's allowed to wear. That was a fever dream. I'm telling you now. I'm not convinced it happened.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. And then mine was a disturbing, violent Carrie meets Wheel of Time.
Without being knee deep in mud. While we're talking, I'm writing these notes.
Oh yeah, clearly. Oh, you have some? Oh, okay. Image uploads on your Twitter. Oh.
I can go check it.
Cool.
Oh.
And
I just posted a second Cogman tweet in the private chat. So if you're interested in checking that out, go right ahead.
Yeah. When you're reading this book, you have to read it within context. He's mentioning the bit where they made they constructed the set of the old time of Dubrovnik, but they don't mention that was kind of a total waste of money and time and effort as well. Because then they just destroyed it, didn't they?
Okay, so basically saying like there have been a lot of compliments thrown at me at the expense of my bosses, so I'm going to defend them. All the showrunners, the performance you love, the showrunner ultimately shaped in the editing room. Brilliant stroke of casting, the showrunner made the final call. What the show looked amazing, all hired and powered by the creative collaboration with the showrunner. Amazing moment for the book you loved. It was supervised by the showrunner. In the episode, edited to another writer, conceived with, edited by, scenes rewritten by the showrunner. Okay, now I'm done. That's barely anything. Okay, I need to show this just because, like this is barely anything.
Yeah.
This is barely anything. It's just like, okay, like
barely anything like Brian Cogman's personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is of the race of the round heads.
Looks like we're not even. This is gonna be a long one.
Why do I get the impression Dunn's doing anything not to read the book?
We're gonna have to take two episodes for this one, I think.
It's just that this is boring. So far, it's just boring. Hopefully we get to some fun stuff.
The beginning of this chapter felt more like
a Just Right video essay.
Yeah,
it does.
A bad Just Right video essay, current day Just Right video essay, like when he did Attack on Titan, and he has not put his video back up, even though it's the only one of his videos to be copyright struck, and it still isn't back up after a month or two.
We barely got started with the first page, so it gets better.
Okay.
It gets even better.
Okay, I'll just kind of summarize a lot of the kind of fluffery stuff.
Yeah.
Since people can see it, they can see I'm not totally taking it out of context. I'm just kind of quickly summarizing because I want to get through to the more interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So wander around, pretend like you're in the Stark home. it was the ultimate medieval fantasy playground. Young George R. R. Martin's Turtle Castle. I don't know why I find that funny, but it's just like nobody in their right mind would pretend to be in Westeros.
No.
Yeah, that's like the last place I want to. That's one of the last fantasy places I want to be in.
Yeah, I would much. Honestly, there's only one place that I would like less to live in, and that's the First Law universe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, here's something that you guys might want to know about. The Game of Thrones official Twitter account has started a hashtag called Marathrone.
Fuck that.
So they have Marathrone. They have a curated
Marathon
list of
throne.
episodes for each character.
What?
Oh, good God. No.
Kiss my ass, HBO, you fucks. You fucking damn it.
Oh my god.
The hype is kind of over now.
Yeah, the hype is dead. Nobody wants
better
to.
than a Night
For a
King.
long time.
It's been
rotting.
Yes, nobody So for comparison, we had like a 93 Rotten Tomatoes isn't a good gauge, I know, but this is kind of indicative. There was like 50K like votes on the audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which kind of like made it like about 90% on season 7.
Oh.
Season 8 had 144K, and it got a 36%. For context, that's
Ouch.
a big indicator. That's like the people who are passionate enough to say we hate this. So, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So let's keep going. Part of
Yes,
expanding
before
winter.
Yes, we want to continue before I get into an incoherent tirade.
Yeah.
Oh,
Continue.
please let White go into.
By the way, why does Rotten Tomatoes have this weird tendency to talk about female characters?
Yeah.
What's so weird about
It's
that?
Well, it's
They're
like
obsessed with it.
the critical score, the Rotten Tomatoes said that essentially that Game of Thrones lets down its female characters.
That's not the only thing that Game of Thrones lets
That's
down.
the first thing they say in the critics' consensus for season 8. Final season shortchanges the women of Westeros, sacrificing satisfying character arcs for spectacular set pieces in its mad dash to the finish line. And they have something similar for season 7. After a year-long wait, Game of Thrones roars back with powerful storytelling and a focused interest in its central characters,
Powerful storytelling, my ass.
particularly the female characters.
I have to say,
Oh
I
yes,
remember-
it was such
When
a great
the funny thing is that
story.
all of them are badly written.
One at a time. One at a
So
time. Okay.
Oh yeah, season 7 was so fucking great. Oh yeah, I was just so happy that we had the fucking White Hunt and Littlefinger just being fucking assassinated. God
Yeah,
damn.
Becca, you were saying
something.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I remember watching season 7 and just cringing and raging at like the fact that it was so bad, but like the justification was always, oh no, but like look how strong the women's, and it's like it was so annoying because it was like I don't give a shit, it's bad. Like, and it's like in the moment they decide to turn on them as well, it was like, oh, I do notice it's bad. It's like, yeah, it was fucking bad already.
Oh,
it was absolute fucking horse shit. With that later half had no fucking logic whatsoever.
Be a dragon doesn't make it fucking good.
Also, as far as I'm aware, a lot of people were criticizing season 5 for denigrating women. Which, yeah, it did.
Kind of,
but it's like there are much more
like,
substantive criticisms than that.
Yeah, I would agree that like the sand snakes are that is so insulting to women.
Like yes, no.
But hey, 2 years later in season 7, everyone forgotten about that. So, Olenna Tyrell is being
kind of
really cool.
forgot about
yeah,
Game of Thrones.
but-
Yeah, Game of Thrones kind of forgot about Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yep. Alrighty. Part of expanding Winterfell was showing the spaces that hadn't been shown before. Never understood where the food came from, where the beer came from, where the bread came from. All those back to the house activities.
Nobody cared
go
where
fuck
those
yourself.
came from.
Go fuck yourself,
well-
Game of Thrones Twitter. Winter's coming, my ass.
Okay. Winter has
and went in
Winter
an
has
hour.
come and gone. Winter has come and
Winter
gone.
was a premature ejaculation. That's what it was.
We will continue. We're done with the Twitter. We're done with the Twitter. We've killed it now. We've killed it. We thoroughly covered it. There's barely anything to say.
Killing it is not good enough. I wanted to incinerate its body.
Why? It's okay. Chill out. You're fine. Let's
Okay.
go.
It's okay.
Like,
The show
breathe.
Restrain yourself.
Okay, breathe.
We have a book to talk about. We're barely
can't
2
breathe.
pages in.
We're
Yeah,
2 pages
let's
out of
carry on,
23.
please.
Okay, so we're all this back for the house activities. I was able to understand it as a living, breathing castle. But had anybody interested in season 1 where the show is heading, Winterfell would have been put in a different spot and not a boggy sheep farm.
That's least of our problems.
Oh,
Okay.
just making the soldiers so soldiers could run back and forth, let alone bury machinery without being knee deep in mud was a huge ordeal. Oh my goodness!
No, you could just put freaking cardboard over it and you'd be fine.
You
No, I don't
could
mean
li-
cardboard. I
you
mean
could literally
plywood.
use-
I mean
You could
plywood.
literally use a different set.
Yeah. Kind of.
Well, boggy sheep farm. I don't know if plywood or cardboard would be a sufficient solution to that
Why put
problem.
the set there in the first
I
place?
think
like
I think that the solution should be move it to firmer ground
That's
because
kind of-
it seems like you have to drain the. It seemed like in order to get this not inconvenient, you would have to drain it in order to, because knee deep in mud. That's a swamp. That's like this. That's a
It's
swamp.
a peat bog.
If you ever been knee deep in mud, because I fucking haven't.
You're blowing my mind though with this idea of moving to higher ground. I
just agree with fucking piece of.
You're just blowing my mind.
They just
no.
wanted the perfect ending. Oh, okay. We just wanted.
We just wanted we just wanted waves and waves of whites and to tackle the actors so that they could give I'm about to die faces.
And then we cut from them, and then they're fine.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry that doesn't work.
I'm just reading some of the comments on the Game of Thrones on that winter is coming bullshit. It's like, oh, I don't understand why the people wanted a perfect ending. Like, yeah, fucking.
Okay, wait, calm down.
Keep going.
Calm down.
It's okay.
Okay.
Closer to Belfast, there was another throne set that reconstructed several streets in the old town of Dubrovnik. It was built on another final season battle, the one in King's Landing, and was impressive in a different way. A mini maze of cobble streets that looked precisely like their Croatian counterparts. It was necessary to make this existing city be a meticulous copy of this city because, as Dan Weiss pointed out, we cannot blow up Dubrovnik.
Oh, so
Then
you didn't need to blow up this either.
They created it on the purpose to destroy it then, and essentially.
Just go and sit him down and go, hey, have you heard of this thing called CG fucking I?
Also, here's another thing. You don't need to, based on what we've seen in both the Last Watch documentary and the game revealed, they built a lot of things that they didn't end up filming. It's just kind of there for Benioff to walk around in as far as we know, because it
Including
wasn't
into
used in
Dubrovnik.
the show.
Including in the
In other words, vanity project.
Yeah, they had like whole rooms in Dubrovnik that no one ever went into in the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, oh my god.
Yeah,
So
like
much
actual-
wasted money.
Yeah.
And
So
labor.
much pointless work. Yeah. The showrunners had long imagined these two battles for the final season, the war against the dead and the one where the survivors turned on each other.
Oh yeah, 'cause that was so fucking great. I mean, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, after the existential crisis of the dead, we're just back to fighting over a fucking chair.
That
was
should
great.
have been the entire season instead of just a single freaking episode.
I think
kinda
that
think
they
they could have
should've
worked
killed
both
off
in-
Cersei in season 7.
Yeah, they could
Yeah.
very easily.
Well,
They-
exactly
I
what
think-
did she do in season 8?
She
Nothing. She complained about elephants and she stared out a balcony. That's
Yeah.
it.
and then
Drinking
cried
wine.
and then cried because she was going to get crushed by Rocks, the real MVP of Game of Thrones. It kills Cersei and protects Jon Snow.
You know what, Dunn? Fuck you.
Call it worship the geode.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, hail Geode, the best Star Wars character.
Apparently there's like Geode wearing lingerie or something.
Oh
Is
my
it-
god!
Do we need this? No.
God!
Welcome to 2021, everybody. Where all the writers in the world are fucking retards. Welcome.
A little bit, yeah.
Rocks are now characters, people. Fucking
Rocks,
hell.
a lingerie wearing rock.
I think we're.
It's gotten to the point where I refuse to read anything by Timothy Zahn, even though I know that I like Timothy Zahn because he's a damn good writer. But
Yeah.
him I trust. The
You won't read
people he
anything
works
related to
for?
Star. You won't
No.
read anything related to Star Wars written by him.
no, because
If it's something else, you'll read it, but not that. But we'll keep going.
yeah.
Oh, here we are. The show's brutal outdoor working conditions.
Okay.
Oh, look at this, Mr. Hibbert. He's fucking just setting him up for fucking jail time right here.
Yeah, both are unthinkable on the show's
Where?
previous budget and schedule. The production took. Yeah, I'm marking this because basically it's just they wanted tackling. They wanted like the whites to tackle. They didn't think of it in terms of tactics at all. That's it.
Oh,
I'm against these
okay,
faces,
so-
these expressions, these performance. Fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
They wanted 10 minute hours.
Yeah.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
You know what? Can we not play that again? Thank you.
That's not.
You know, someone
I
who's
will
supposed to
play
be
it.
so cold is quite heated up today.
I will play it whenever I please because
Yeah, you tell them.
yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
The production spent 9 months filming 6 episodes instead of the 6 months they normally took to film 10 episodes.
You factored in.
To put that in context, principal photography on most Hollywood films typically takes around 3 to 4 months.
Maybe that's a sign that you're doing
That's
a bad
not-
job with your time management.
That actually, why exactly would you say this?
I mean,
I have no idea.
That-
This is just more evidence that they were overworking their people to freaking death.
Well, Hibbert's such an idiot that he thinks, oh, it's such a big and ambitious thing that it's so huge that it took so much longer than any of the Hollywood films. It's like, no, it just means you're just. Oh my god!
And like by making that
These
comparison,
guys wouldn't see common sense if I fucking hit him in the fucking face.
9 months filming 6 episodes rather than 6 months filming 10 episodes. is
That must be all the reshoots they were doing.
Yep, that comes up in the next sentence too. Next paragraph.
Anyway.
Yeah, when you factored in the amount of time Thrones team spent filming the final season, the intensity of staging the action scenes, the global pressure to deliver a satisfying ending, and the show's brutal outdoor working conditions, the show obstacles faced by the show's cast and crew during season 8, as Nikolai Coster-Waldau put it, unheard of. There's a very good reason for that. Is because nobody should have to suffer under these conditions that we're about to read through.
Oh, this will be all right.
Oh my goodness.
Madam Neph, would you oblige us by reading the next couple of pages?
Okay. A scene that would have been a 1-day shoot 2 years ago was a 5-day shoot, Kit Harington said.
Oh my fucking
They
god!
wanted to get it right. They wanted to shoot it every single way, so they had options. And because it was the finale after 8 seasons, most scenes are emotional.
Can I say something? You know, like when movies they have rough sketches of stuff. So like when they're doing camera work, they can get the shot they want.
They storyboard, yeah.
Yes, that kind of thing.
So here's another thing as well. I've shot emotional scenes on sets before. Do you know how much harder it is for an actor to do that like over and over and over again? Like they very rarely get it right, like 15th time in a row. It's usually about 3rd.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to do emotion after emotion after you're just gonna end up with wooden, and that's probably why the acting looks so wooden, because they fucking made them reshoot and reshoot and reshoot. Because they're not very good directors.
And also the fact that their direction was probably sloppy as fuck.
Well, yeah.
Really there's a bug.
If you're a really good director, you can do lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of shots, even and retakes and stuff. And it can be, you can still have a really good emotional take at the end because they know how to work with the actor. But if you don't know how to work with actors, the actor's going to get tired after shot number 15, and you're not going to be able to keep them going. It's like, it's just not the way to go if you can't fucking direct.
Hey, Beck, I can dispute that. You know the scenes where they look tired and exhausted. That was good acting right there.
No, they were actually
exactly.
That's called enforced method acting. That's
because awful. They were exhausted because David Dan are fucking melons.
That's why that proves it's great art.
That proves consistently having to have your emotions that high, it became exhausting. Yeah. The production's biggest challenge, not just for season 8, but throughout the entire show, was the episode titled The Long Night. The threat of the White Walkers had been teased since the pilot's opening scene. And everybody working on Thrones knew the Winterfell battle had to pay off years of anticipation.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
We've been building towards this since the very beginning, and it's the living against the dead, and you don't do that in a 12-minute sequence.
No, that is true.
Yeah, you do that over a season.
Yeah.
You also don't do it halfway through your last season and then introduce a completely new enemy and an entirely new conflict straight after.
Are you fucking shitting me? Are you shitting me?
Lol.
Weiss, the idea from the beginning.
Hello?
Done.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was there were all these squabbles going on that seemed so important and global and earth-shattering, and were happening against the backdrop of much larger, more monumentous events that very few people who lived on the fringes of the political world knew about. It always was the overarching structure of the series that these things in the Far East and Far North would come together and decide the fate of everybody in the middle.
Okay, we're gonna pause it right there.
Okay,
no?
so Dan Weiss said this. So he's an ascended dude, just random schmo, like factually.
Yeah,
And
he is.
I imagine that most of what he has learned about screenwriting relates to
we
Mr.
highlight-
Cogman's.
Can we highlight?
Because Mr. Benioff doesn't know how to use structure. He's admitted this.
And he doesn't know
I
how
just
to.
point out the irony of it was always the overarching structure of the series.
But they didn't treat it like that.
Until you forgot about it.
Yeah,
like
I
the
guess
White
they
Walkers
kind
are
of forgot
forgotten
about
about
the fucking point of
halfway
this
through
entire
episode
show.
4.
You know, this is
shit.
This is the thing that brought me into this show. This was the hook. Like this whole political stuff is like put in the forefront, but you have this existential threat in the background, and then you just fucking throw it out. You just swat it away like a fucking fly at the end. It's like, no, it's not actually a big deal. Fuck you.
We're going to get some fun stuff.
Typical battle episodes on Thrones would contain about 15 minutes or so of calm before the storm discussion scenes before all hell broke loose. In season 8, the writers devoted an entire episode to the characters preparing for battle.
Which was worthless.
Because none of them died.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Cogman's play like a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. We'll discuss some of the major moments from that episode later. That way. The Long Night could hit the ground running with arguably the longest consecutive battle sequence ever filmed, an 82-minute episode consisting entirely of various types of action sequences. By comparison, quiet guys, quiet. By comparison, the famed Omaha beach assault that opened Saving Private Ryan was 27 minutes, and the Battle of Helm's Deep in the Two Towers was 40 minutes.
Okay, so this is the whole thing. Like, okay, so these things out of context. We had to make it longer. We had to make this stupid extra special fucking battle scene that's like super epic and shit, but you can't see shit. But
also,
can I put out an 82-minute episode consisting entirely of various types of action sequences? All the action sequences are the same except like Lyanna Mormont.
Yeah, it's mostly just whites, a wave of zombies tackling.
This should have never been about some epic battle at the end. This should have been like something sprawled out, like seasons of stuff, like battles here and there. You know, the White Walkers slowly taking over, like just taking over the whole fucking place. You know.
Also, sorry.
That is a very good point, and he basically replicates all of the problems.
Oh my god.
Okay, Brightness is trying to say something.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
Yeah, like what the fuck is that comparison, right? Saving Private Ryan is a film, and so it's a series of 3 films. Is Lord of the Rings, but there's lots of battles in it, so that's also in a film, which is shorter, last time I checked, than an 8-season TV show, right? So the idea that your fucking battle scene is longer, well, no shit. Yes, it's a little bit long. Yeah, but you didn't do anything other than that. What is that?
Yeah,
it's kind of like making all the episodes in season 8 longer. Like, this will be just as long as a 10 episode season. Like, no, it's not.
No,
people, we need to ramp up.
The substance has been decreased by 97%.
What do you mean it was short, Sans? It was longer than Saving Private Ryan.
To lead the project, producers brought back Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards veteran Miguel Sapochnik. There was a bit of trepidation because there was now this expectation that you have to beat yourself, which I loathe. Benioff. Having the largest battle doesn't sound very exciting. It sounds pretty boring.
Yes.
Only to you, you goddamn idiot! Freaking hack.
You already did a 2 battle scene, holy battle episodes, and those
Also,
were the Battle of Blackwater and the Watchers on the Wall.
But that's what it was. That's what it was the entire fucking time. It was just people hacking and zombies tidal waving over people, but then you cut away and they're fine.
Also,
it's not fine.
Yeah,
like, I don't fucking believe that he thinks it's not very exciting to have the largest battle, because then why the fuck were you so obsessed with it?
Yeah, it's not exciting to have the epic battle.
That is a very good point.
Yes.
90-minute battle scene where it's just hacking zombies, but exactly that's what it was. 90 minutes of people hacking zombies.
And it's just the problem is basically like it just seems as though like just this whole the interaction between Miguel Sapochnik and these guys, it's like a war between these two guys where Miguel Sapochnik is
it's like Wolf said earlier, like David Benioff wants to buy the entire candy store and Miguel consistently tells him no.
Yeah, I know. I see that. I see what Sapochnik's doing there. It's like he's throwing shade at them, but this fucking idiot Herbert doesn't even realize it because he's a fucking moron.
Nope.
Also, like the thing with just even Miguel Sapochnik's comments about working on the show, it just seems as though like he's just like, and even in the commentaries, he's like, I was consistently fighting against them to try and make it better.
You imagine what it was really like.
Yeah, or originally was like where like it was just like they wanted it to be a 20-minute one shot or something along those lines.
Imagine the behind the scenes.
Had this been run by literally anyone else, they would not have been fighting over this.
Yes, Hibbard kind of looks like he said
he's completely clueless.
Yeah, he's clueless. Yep. Sapochnik said it's all David and Dan's fault. For making me do these night shoots.
Oh,
yeah,
good lord.
And then Deborah Wiley says it's all this whole thing of business of trying to film a television show.
Oh, it was.
To film movie quality stuff on a television show. Never mind.
Oh, good lord.
I remember.
Good lord. Yeah.
I remember when you were talking about that. Yeah.
It'd be nice if people didn't always talk over each other around here.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, one at a time, people. We'll go down the line.
Okay. Part of our challenge, and really Miguel's challenge, was how to keep it that compelling. Please. If it's just humans hacking and slashing at whites for 55 minutes, it was going to quickly become dull.
Yeah,
which it did.
So did anybody else have anything to say about the last little bit? About
having a large bet? Yeah, I mean, it was. This is fucking retarded because it's exactly what it was. So David Benioff's. Well, we always know he's a fucking retard, but it just really shows you how goddamn stupid this bastard is.
We've been calling him a hack, but I don't think hack is a strong enough word.
Fraud.
Yeah.
Mentally deficient fucking man-child. There we go.
Oh, you iTunes as a gift card bonus giving mother effer.
You pompous, negligent iTunes gift card as a holiday bonus giving mother.
That's exactly how I feel this entire stream.
Thank you very much for that, right?
Anyway, let's continue. We have a lot to get through.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. At some point you exhaust an audience. I watched Two Towers, and it's actually 3 different battles in 3 different places intercut. I was trying to get a sense of when you tire out. Good lord. Why is it doing that? I have no idea. Okay. I was trying to get a sense of when you tire out. It felt like the only way to really approach stuff properly was to take every sequence and ask yourself, why as an audience would I care to keep watching?
I feel for
these performances, these faces, I guess.
And like I did say like he's being like told to have it be he's told to have it be a one shot, but then he decides, no, I'm going to intercut this in editing because this is stupid. And I imagine like doing one shots are exhausting. Like
they did like what was it, 20 seconds of that for Battle of the Bastards, and that was already like unprecedented almost.
Yeah, imagine doing that, but over and over and over again, because you know how many reshoots they like to do.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness! How
these are the worst showrunners ever.
It's hard enough to do like, you know, like a couple of minutes even. Like it's really, really hard to film for that long because someone fucks up here and there. It's oh my god.
That is a very good point. Yeah.
Let's focus on this sentence here. Why, as an audience member, would I care to keep watching?
These performances, these faces.
That's a very pertinent point.
I mean, it's a pretty good question to always be asking yourself, but it's funny that that Miguel had to do that because it clearly wasn't in the fucking script.
Yeah.
And the showrunners clearly didn't care about it.
No.
They are fucking clueless.
Because it seemed as though everybody other than Barrick, Theon, Jorah, Dolores Ed, and a bunch of red shirts had plot armor.
Screaming plot armor.
Yeah.
Everyone who didn't die had plot armor in this episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very obvious plot armor too.
Especially that asshole John with his rock armor.
Yeah. Well, no, Geo. No, it was Geo.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the prequel to that Star Wars book.
Geo. Well, I think
it was my ice flame breath that brought him to life.
No, I think it's actually different. No, basically what happened was Geode was standing in front of John, and you tried to blast him, but then Geode took off whatever rock clothing it was wearing and showed off like whatever's attributes, and you were just shocked.
He used 2 minutes to block the fire.
Well, you see, I lost half my face that time, so I have no depth perception. So it was kind of a weird situation.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So the battle's not so secret weapon was the show's ensemble of beloved characters. The team figured if the episode focused on fan favorites, having different kinds of battle adventures that a variety of character-driven stories would pull the audience through all the requisite hack and slash.
It was such a fun adventure.
Oh my
a variety of character-driven stories. Everyone else is hacking and slashing, and Arya gets a little bit of variation.
What stories exactly? Because
stories. Also, like
stories.
all of the action scenes in The Long Night are very, very similar. They aren't that different.
It's just people waving swords around, slashing zombies.
Yeah, what character-driven stories?
You saw the sword?
And Arya was a literal anime character for the most part.
Well, not literal, obviously, but yes.
I mean, you can argue. But yeah,
not literal.
No, no, Celine. We already have dumbass and dipshit.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot those.
Yeah,
hack and slash works though.
Yeah, hack and slash is too cool. Like that.
Yeah, no.
Don't denigrate the good name of hack and slash video games.
These people are fucking delusional.
Yeah,
it's like they think they're writing something great, and like the rest of us are like, "What the hell is this? Why did you put shit in my burger?"
Where the bleep was that?
I mean, Dan Weiss is like the burger maker. Like, it's great. It's this very fantastic beef steak thing.
No, it's not. You went back.
He's so stupid. He thinks he's making a steak, but he's like, he put 2 pieces of fucking hamburger buns with shit in it.
Oh, I was just thinking he thought he was making a steak from Ducanos, but in reality, he just grabbed something from the Fear Factor kitchen.
Oh, damn it! I hate it when I do that.
Yeah.
No, that was my mom before she learned how to cook.
Totally agree with that.
I'm on a bit of a Fear Factor binge, and I'm just like, oh man, you poor people! I could not eat cod sack covered in ants. That is vile. Maybe we should do a Fear Factor react. Maybe we should do a Fear Factor reaction episode. That might be funny.
I did drink a soda that had ants on it. That was because I just opened it like a couple, like 30 minutes before, and I did not want to waste it.
Why did anyone like the show? Because of the early seasons.
Also like spectacle, good acting, and hype culture. I think would be the
And music. The music was like
how did Game of Thrones succeed? One person.
Please wait for the person to finish. Then you can talk, Valerian.
Oh well, just saying, and the music.
Yeah.
The music is a big part of it.
I gotta say,
oh no, I would definitely agree. The music is I think the music in Game of Thrones is better than Lord of the Rings.
I mean,
yeah,
I know, and also every time I listen to Game of Thrones music, I want to rampage. I want to rip and tear someone because it just upsets me that such good music was wasted on this shit show. Like the Night King theme, I cannot listen to it ever at all.
I would say the individual pieces of the music are better possibly than Lord of the Rings, but I think the cohesiveness of how the Lord of the Rings
in general,
put together
I would concur.
as a whole and how it works with the film is like a bajillion times better.
Yeah, in general, I'd say that Lord of the Rings music is significantly better than
As
Game of
individual
Thrones.
pieces.
Yeah, I mean the Robert's theme. I mean, oh my god.
Sauron's theme, the Nazgul theme, the Treason of Isengard. There are like too many to count.
Last March of the Ends.
Yeah. And also like there's more variation. A lot of them like are very piano-y, I guess.
There's no
let's keep going. The action is driven by character, not by how many swords and spears you can swing around. And yet you wanted to have a record-breaking number of stuntmen.
And basically no dialogue.
This is just like what Dragon said. They're talking about something that never happened. That like the action was driven by character, not how many swords, spears you could swing around. But that's all it was. It was just actors swinging shit.
And you couldn't even see them.
Yeah, you couldn't even see anything. Yeah.
Well, I had my night vision goggles, so I could see some things.
Weirdly enough, I was able to see it fine, but that's because I dialed up the brightness on my iPad. So we're lucky enough that we've had 70 plus hours of showing who everybody is. There's so many individual stories you bring to that situation.
Is that code?
Yeah, because you guys can't write. You need.
Okay. So who here has read The Heroes by Joe Abercrombie?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Basically, Joe Abercrombie decided to do an experiment where he writes a book about a single battle. Not even the build-up. He just has a couple of days before the battle over 3 days, and then 1 day of aftermath. That is it. And it covers 500 pages. And it is amazing. Because he goes into detail about everything. Like supply lines, tactics, the on-the-ground troops where where characters get killed all over the place, the violence, the back and forth of trying to take this hill, all of that stuff. And it's
all the good stuff.
Yes. And it's like the back and forth tactics. And it's just, and then like to see this where it's just like it's kind of like after like just seeing this, it's just like Joe Abercrombie succeeds in a text form that lasts longer than this episode. The Heroes is the 19-hour audiobook, and yet because most of the Heroes has characters that you're just getting introduced to, or at least just getting acquainted with, like well acquainted with. And he does a better job than this episode does with an hour and a half with characters that we've been around for 70 plus hours.
Yeah, that's because Dave and Dan are fucking retarded. They can't even. Like the last episode of the entire season.
Slam dunk. This should have been such an easy slam dunk. Like a bunch of college students wrote a Game of Thrones thing in probably less time than David and Dan and got before season 8 came out, and it was better.
Then again, Abercrombie can actually write.
That's true.
Abercrombie is pretty up there.
Yeah, Abercrombie.
I'm pretty sure most people can write way better than this.
Yeah, true. So most battles are at least 15 minutes of a movie for a reason. People lose interest. You just barely cited that Lord of the Ring, that Helm's Deep was 40 minutes.
Oh wait, I think it says wait. Did you miss most battles the last 15 minutes?
Oh, the last 15 minutes of the movie? Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's why I'm pointing that out. It's just 40 minutes, last 15. Okay, interesting.
I'm not sure if this is hyperbole, but it's definitely not true.
Yeah, and like Battle of the Pelennor Fields is what, 2 hours?
I mean, like battles tend to come towards the end, not because people lose interest, but because a lot of the time the battle is the coming together of the conflict. Sometimes
it's the climax.
But that's why it's not because people lose interest. That's a very strange reason to cite.
To be fair,
depends on the battle.
Yeah, it's way more variable than that.
But yeah, this is just
pause, Valerian.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I do tend to get distracted if there's too much action, and it does get boring. It's sort of subjective here, but he's saying most battles are in the last 15 minutes, but earlier they were saying 82 minutes of battle, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, Saving Private Ryan starts with nearly half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, why are they trying to do 82 minutes if people lose interest in a quarter hour?
Because they're confused.
Because that confused is really, that's very charitable of you.
Yeah. It's just more evidence that they
I've ever said about
understand anything about
the long night. Sorry,
we really need to keep. Yeah, let's keep going with this.
The long night is the epitome of.
Okay, we'll try to finish the paragraph and then dissect it.
Okay.
Okay, so we'd have a large field battle. Then we have Arya in a haunted house sequence in the library. We have Sansa and Tyrion in the crypt, which would become like a horror movie. We have Jon and Dany on the dragons. Each story had different textures, so it wouldn't be the same thing.
But it was the same thing anyway.
It was pretty much.
All right.
Zombies dog piling for 80 minutes.
I see a problem here.
Mean here?
See, I have an idea. This might be crazy, but they could have done this, but over a season. Like they wanted to do a horror, and they wanted to do an action scene. Like, couldn't these be like different seasons? You know, like sometimes you spend time with like random characters, like
the crypt or the library. I think the library was lame. Yeah.
Instead of a battle for Winterfell, this is like the White Walkers taking like over a good portion of Westeros, and like the horror bit was actually some like farmer town or some shit, where the Whites are like killing people and shit, and they're like hiding like farmers instead. It's like from the perspective of the common folk.
Oh, you know what? in the Boston University version, the Whites take over. If I remember correctly, they take over King's Landing. Pardon the spoiler.
Yeah, they get down south really far, and the people who were writing the show clearly liked the books because they include the climax is at the God's Eye, something that is like something that is talked about in the books for a very, very long time and is like set up. So clearly these college students really love these books and have read it very, very closely.
Because one of the other irritating things of what at the aftermath of the Long Night is nobody believes that the White Walkers even exist. It's like everything's pointless.
Yeah,
it's just a joke.
Yeah, they by like halfway through the episode after this, the White Walkers are forgotten completely.
The people in the Citadel are just laughing.
The fuck are just ice zombies? That's not real. God damn.
Yeah, I know. I read ahead. I was waiting for you to read that.
I know.
Oh,
okay.
What?
The process of whittling down the script took a lot longer this time because David and Dan wanted to keep everything.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, this is. Oh yeah, that's
nothing there.
I'm interested that they actually whittled them down before because they're still so rambly. So
yeah, it's still a rambling mess.
Yeah, we all wanted everything, but we're up against the reality of what we could achieve.
Your own self-imposed restrictions, you fucks.
Oh my god!
You could have had 13 seasons.
This is
10
the
episodes.
This is the exact same problem as Battle of the Bastards. They don't learn. I imagine like Miguel Sapochnik is just like, I am in Crazy Town right now. I am having the same experience over and over and over again. Why is this happening to me? Why are these guys not learning from these problems? Why are they doing this to me? What sin have I committed that I am living in this hell over and over again?
Sapochnik is a saint.
Yeah, Sapochnik is a saint. Yeah.
It's irritating because, like, oh, the process of whittling down the script took longer, but we could have had. Why couldn't the Battle of Winterfell be a two-parter? Why does the season have to be 6 episodes? This is self-imposed restrictions.
The Battle for Winterfell should have been an entire season.
And it shouldn't have just been Winterfell. It should have been hell. It could have been like
Westeros, and you could have actually made things a lot easier on themselves by spreading out the action so it wasn't exhausting for the crew.
I had a crazy idea once. I hear this out that they actually lost the war for Westeros and they had to leave Westeros. Like the ending of Game of Thrones was like barely anybody survived, and they had to live on Essos and shit because Westeros got taken over. It was something along the lines of that.
Yeah, they kind of.
That was kind of the bittersweet ending, I guess, because everybody dies in Westeros except for a handful of people, and this Westeros is just this mysterious frozen wasteland.
That actually, I would have preferred that ending. It's dark as crap, but I would definitely prefer that ending.
It's grim dark, but at least
it's satisfying in a certain way.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody doesn't die. I mean, the Essos and everything else, but the White Walkers only wanted Westeros back, kind of like the Children of the Forest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes that I totally buy that. I would accept that as an ending. It would have been much better. Yeah, that sounds like a bittersweet ending, and it would be realistic, where just winter has come, and winter just leaves Westeros in ruins until which time as it melts and people can come back.
Ragnarok.
Yeah. Something not
this.
Moronic, yeah. Something not absolutely frickin' crazy. Alrighty.
Can I point out before we continue, have any of you guys read the Inheritance Cycle?
Yes.
Yes.
The final battle in the 4th book takes up, from the immediate prelude to the immediate aftermath, takes up about 160 pages. The epilogue essentially is nearly the same length. And keep in mind, this is the battle that's been building up for 4 books.
Yeah. Oh, just to go back on that just a little bit more. You know Valyria, right? The rumors and speculations, like this crazy place. That's kind of what I was getting at with Westeros.
Yeah.
And like
basically a nuke.
Yeah,
basically
it's like
a nuke aftermath thing.
Yeah, it's like this crazy, like 100 years or like 1,000 years. It's just this mysterious place with that are like has like who lived here? What is this place? Why is there this ruined city and everything? You know, that kind of thing.
A good real world equivalent would be Chernobyl.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
Mm. Chernobyl.
I literally thought that up at work one day.
Yeah,
I was all sweeping the floor. How pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Schmo. Let's keep going. We have a lot to do. Very.
You could always just make this a 2-parter.
Probably this is. Yeah, we can probably. Okay, so one of the things I found interesting was the less action, the less fighting you can have at the sequence, the better. We switched genres from suspense to horror to action to drama, and that way we're not stuck in killing upon killing because everybody's desensitized and doesn't mean anything. And it seems like that
you
was
fell
what
into
David
that trap
and Dan,
anyway.
It seems like that's what David and Dan wanted, and Miguel was stuck on it. And Miguel Sebastian was stuck with it, so he had to like try his best with the dog's leavings he was stuck with.
Except that the problem with that is that the tonal shift when you go from genre to genre is like whiplash.
Especially when you just cut out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering that they just cut out so much of it that could have been tonally consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, I don't know about you, but I never saw Thrones as like kind of like a show that skipped between genres. It had its own tone that didn't really change much. So when you go, oh yeah, let's have this genre and this genre and this genre, it's like that's not what Thrones was though. It was pretty tonally consistent all the way through.
Thrones genre was Thrones.
Yeah.
In other words,
it's basically just grimdark fantasy that is. I think I don't know how much I agree with Just Right when you said that like Westeros is basically a grimdark thing that is becoming less grimdark. I don't fully agree with that.
I don't see where the less grimdark bit comes in.
Well, it's like it's becoming slow. Like it's a show that becomes more hopeful, I guess. I don't know.
There's always a certain hopeful slant to everything.
Yeah. And like he just like the main thing that Just Right didn't like about this. We should do Just Right's video on Game of Thrones. It's actually like it's kind of funny to kind of compare that with his Last Jedi video.
Comparing videos that he makes to something he likes versus something he dislikes is always very amusing.
It's very
amusing. because in one he's perfectly okay with the mistakes and things, and in the other, everything he's okay with in the first, he's not okay with in the second.
Well, funny thing, I actually subbed to him before he had any videos other than his Hobbit videos.
Mm-hmm.
They were good.
Yeah,
they were good. Yeah,
the Hobbit videos are actually like his. I would say that they are actually like legitimately good videos.
Yeah, they were great.
They very much go into like the problems of the Hobbit movies, but the problem is, he said, I've evolved as a critic beyond.
Yeah, no, Mr. Hayden, you've evolved as a critic.
Oh, Oh, that's interesting. That's very
That is
interesting.
very plausible.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
70 live horses.
Would you like me to read, Dunn? I
Yes,
can do
go
it.
for it.
All right. The original production plan for The Long Night was to break up filming into small segments, which would require fewer cast and crew members to be on the set at any given time. But that would make the filmmaking heavily structured and limit Sapochnik's ability to improvise or to have as many shots that included large groups of cast members. As Sapochnik had learned on Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards, nothing ever goes precisely according to plan, especially when filming outdoors in hostile weather. So it was essential that he could quickly pivot in response to changing circumstances. Note the use of the word precisely.
Yes.
Wouldn't he have already known that, though?
Well, yeah, I mean,
before
that's like,
all of this? Because he was supposed
that's
to be a experienced director?
That's such like kind of.
He wasn't experienced with David Dan.
Yeah.
Completely common knowledge among directors. Like that's just of course it's very precisely. It's so like stop being hedging around, you know.
Ooh, that's actually a very good point.
Shit.
Ooh, yeah.
That fits with the pattern. That very much fits with the pattern of Battle of the
Yeah.
Bastards. It seems as though everything like kind of goes back. Battle of the Bastards seems like it's ground zero for the problems of the battles in this show.
Yeah.
Hardhome kind of has similar problems, but Bob is the one where they had like the major issues.
Hardhome was the nuke. Bob was the hydrogen bomb.
And the Long Night was the what's that fucking massive bomb from the Halo universe?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, it was more like the virus bomb from Warhammer, which exterminates entire planets.
Ouch.
How about the I know that there's also a bomb. It's something in Ender's Game. I haven't read Ender's Game in a long time.
Oh, I know what we can compare this to. Starkiller Base.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Dear.
Yes.
Look where we're back again.
Yeah, let's keep.
Star Wars has returned to the conversation.
Yeah,
It makes sense because
Yeah, it's
Star
such
Wars is in here.
Yeah. Oh.
It has returned.
Yeah. I'll just continue if no one
Well,
has
let's keep going.
No one has
Go
anything
ahead.
bad.
Let him.
Sapochnik. We built this massive part of Winterfell and thought we'll film this part here and this here, and basically broke it into so many pieces it would be like a Marvel movie with never any flow or improvisation. Even on Star Wars, they build certain parts of the set and then add huge elements of green screen. Everything would be broken into little morsels to be put back together, and that makes sense. There's an efficiency to that. But there's something that you lose when doing it that way, and you lose the spontaneity of being able to move the camera anywhere. And I was walking around the set thinking, this is really cool. I can walk around and find angles I would never have found beforehand.
Oh
my god.
Can I bring up something? The spontaneity being able to move the camera anywhere. Okay. So here's the funny thing. They're mandating that you focus primarily on the faces of the actors. So the notion of moving the camera anywhere seems like it's a non-goal.
I think.
Yeah, where did that whole reshoot it for so many takes and different angles or whatever from 2 pages ago go?
I think what he's talking about is, it would be so cool if I could put the camera here or here or here. I wish they would actually let me do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this seems like it's low key throwing shade.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of Sapochnik's kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's.
Hopefully he'll do better on House of the Dragon.
He has to do better on us.
The fact that he survived this shit.
There's no way he can do worse.
He's not dealing with.
Oh yes, yeah. The molecular. I know there's like a name for it. Like the.
Yeah.
It's a neat name. I have to look that up.
The
I really like
Ender's Game molecular detachment device.
Yeah, Sapochnik.
Okay, MD 19-1 molecular disruption device Formic.
Yeah, Sapochnik.
The Enderverse. The molecular disruption device, also known as the molecular detachment device, MD device, doctor device, or little doctor.
The little doctor, yeah, the little doctor in Ender's Game.
In House of the Dragon, Sapochnik will actually be one of the producers. Am I right?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
So he won't just be answering to someone else, let alone those people.
Yes.
He is going to do so much better simply because he's not chained to these two idiots.
Blistering morons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Sapochnik suggested an alternative schedule that would include 11 weeks of consecutive night shoots. Anything to say?
No. Pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I turned to producers and said, I know it's shitty and going to be cold. I don't want to do 11 weeks of night shoots and no one else does. But if we continue the way we're going to lose what makes Game of Thrones cool. That it feels real. Even though it's supernatural and we have dragons. Well, where did the airspeed velocity of the Raven from last chapter go? Huh?
Oh my goodness!
No, it was 2 chapters ago. Sorry,
we lost the realism, and we're worried. We're worried that we're going to lose the realism in the long night, even though season 7 happened.
Oh
Dragons
dear!
are the least unreal thing.
Oh dear! This is interesting to say the least. Please read.
All right. Thrones had filmed plenty of nighttime action sequences over the years, but the rain-drenched battles for the Battle of the Blackwater, weird phrasing, and the Battle of Castle Black had taken about 3 weeks each. To the producer's knowledge, no movie or show had ever attempted a filming schedule like this before. Maybe there's a reason for that.
Because it's fucking insane.
But they've got to hit all of their, breaking all their damn records. Come on, guys. Don't you think that's the most important thing?
No, the health of your cast and crew is the most important thing.
And also, one thing I should note, Thrones had filmed plenty of nighttime action sequences. A lot of them are not very good in terms of directing and lighting and cinematography.
Yeah, and it's not very good because dipshit.
Dipshit dumbarse.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
That they couldn't use anything other than natural lighting.
How does this book get like a fucking 4.9 out of 10?
Because people want to defend the show because they're attached to the show.
It seems like it could. I know that at least one of those just like this has so many like factual errors in it. Like about when this happened in what season, which is kind of hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I get the impression that a bunch of people bought this and then just gushed over whatever with not a smidge of analysis whatsoever, and just said,
they didn't.
Oh, la 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 la.
I analyze because it's mainly like little. I think the main reasons why we're able to like get so much out of it is because we're reading it aloud and like trying to examine it like piece by piece. Because like I think if we were just skimming over it, like trying to get through it, we wouldn't have noticed the explosives in Morocco.
Or the 70 live horses.
I knew about the 70 live horses.
I think part of it is also like people read things like Liam Cunningham almost gets decapitated by a camera arm. Like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Also,
if you just skim past it, that's kind of a funny little thing. Like, it's horrifying, and when you're 6 people, it's much more easy to notice.
And then there's the not marking off the floor, which was weakened for reasons.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't see any photographs in this picture, but are there photographs in the book as it appears in hardback?
I don't know. I don't own that. I'm cheap, so I only bought the Kindle.
Because I'm thinking that if there are lots of full color photos and stuff, that in itself would be like, whoa, this is great. This is great.
Dragon Trap, can you confirm that there are pictures?
I think he probably just has the Kindle, I imagine.
Yeah.
Either that or the audiobook.
Bother.
Oh yeah, another thing that I would like to make note of when it comes to the reviews, they probably just read this all, they wanted to shoot it over 5 days instead of 1 because they wanted to get it absolutely perfect and didn't actually think about the ramifications of that.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, I wonder if, I don't know. I wonder if it's like a kind of you get people reading it that don't know anything about filmmaking as well, and they're just going, "Oh wow, this must have been really hard to make. This must have been the most difficult thing to make," and they don't really like analyze it anyway. So they're just going, "This was difficult because it was hard to make, not this was difficult because it was incompetent."
Yeah,
or difficult because it was insane.
Oh yeah,
Except I know
there.
Except I know nothing about filming or movie making or the making of TV show, and I know that that's not how it's supposed to be done.
Thank you, Adam Stevenson.
Thank
Very,
you.
very, very good point. That's very interesting.
Anyway, we'll just continue.
Yeah, let's keep going. We got to get through more of this.
Yeah.
Okay, Liam Cunningham, actor for Davos Seaworth, they brought us into a tent and broke the news to us. They ran through the episode's previs, a slightly animated storyboard in visual form. We saw this extraordinary series of images. Miguel was saying we're going to do this over 55 nights, and there was a lot of people looking at each other. There were those of us who were on Battle of the Bastards, which was less than half of what this was attempting, and during the day. I immediately thought, fucking hell, this is a nightmare. It's like a deliberate attempt to fuck the whole thing up. On paper, it's madness. But they wanted everybody to be aware of the shit they would put us in so nobody could say they didn't know.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Liam.
Thank you so much.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
Let me have a look at this.
We're going up. There was a lot of people looking at each other. There was
They brought us into a tent and broke the news to us. 55 nights looking at each other. Effing hell, this is a nightmare. It's like a deliberate attempt to F the whole thing up.
This is insane.
It is.
So, Liam Cunningham, the guy who played Davos, was in Blackwater and Battle of the Bastards. Is like, oh wait, you already broke records with Battle of the Bastards, and you're trying to double your record for this. Like, if this was like a sport, people would like laugh it off and say, "This is madness. This can never be done."
They actually want to kill us. What the fuck?
Yeah, it definitely seems that like you want to. Do you want to murder all of us?
Actually, yes.
If I'd been one of the people working on this show, I think that would actually have been a question that I would have legitimately asked. And I would not have waited to get them alone. I'd have asked with everyone else there.
Like, is there like, what is it, cancellation fee or whatever for actor contracts? Or termination fee?
I imagine there is, since Henry Cavill would have been forced to pay Paramount $4 million if he shaved his mustache to come back and play Superman for the Whedon cut.
Yeah.
So, like, at this point, I would say, yeah, it's worth it. Get the fuck off this show.
Did someone just die?
My telephone just crashed onto the ground.
Oh my goodness.
Rip your phone.
Shall we keep going?
Yes, please.
Sorry about that.
All right. Dave Hill. Miguel sent out an email to all the cast. Please get on a night schedule ahead of time because you're going to be so tired and wet and cold. You need to give yourself every advantage you can.
Miguel
We're
is
just
really
we're not
actually
even gonna
okay.
say anything. We're just gonna let that sit there as another piece on the pile
Just remember
and move on.
Just remember the Long Watch documentary while you're keep that context in mind.
Yeah.
What?
Gwendolyn Christie, actress for Brienne of Tarth. I requested a meeting with Miguel. It was very important to me that we saw Jaime and Brienne's relationship expressed throughout the battle. But what we should see is this relationship has been going on and building for a long time. And they're in a rare situation where they can completely trust and depend on each other. You take that complicated and solid relationship and take that into brutal, mind-blowing apocalyptic war. Does it break them apart or force them closer together? What kind of question is that to ask?
Was it really a brutal or mind-blowing? Or apocalyptic?
Maybe it would have been if we could see it.
That's it's quite sad, really.
Yeah, are you on Discord? You've seen this picture?
Yeah, I saw the picture of this stupid bear.
Is that prop literally on fire?
It looks like it is. Yeah.
That's no CGI. That prop is actually on.
Anyway,
please share your screen.
Brienne and Jaime's relationship is not expressed throughout the battle. They're just hacking away at zombies together.
Yeah, really, no.
They save each other, but I don't think so.
Plot-induced stupidity and all that, with the zombies just disappearing in between cuts.
I don't remember much about the relationship in the Long Night.
This is for the White Hunt, everybody. This is for the white polar bear scene. They actually set the prop on fire.
Why?
So much unnecessary
Thing
BS.
is, I know that CGI fire can look kind of fake, but
this is real.
You can just film real fire and then composite it into the shot.
No.
Also, that scene, I'm pretty sure, was in like kind of fucking misty, snowy stuff. Like, just fucking blur it with that. Jesus Christ.
Look at the picture. They have the prop on fire right next to the guy. If they would have dropped that guy would have probably combusted.
Where did you get this picture from? Sorry.
This is from behind the scene pictures. I was just looking at behind the scene pictures because I wanted to find something really stupid. I wasn't disappointed.
Well, you found it.
And this is from them,
White
right?
Hunt.
HBO.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Anyway, should we continue with the book?
So that's another thing.
All right, next page. Done?
Yep. Wait.
All right.
Yeah.
Macy Williams, actress for Arya Stark. I had skipped the battle every year, which is bizarre since Arya's the one who's been training the most.
What? What training?
Ben Miguel called me a year before and said, start training now because it's going to be really hard. And I said, yeah. But yeah, Arya is not the one who's been training the most.
I mean, I guess she's more means that, like, she has had more focus on kind of developing in that aspect in terms of her story, but, like, whether... Yeah.
I don't get it.
Okay, so I'm just going to be combining a few of these together because they relate to the same thing. So, the episode would include the death of several characters, such as Theon Greyjoy, who finally had a selfless and heroic moment when trying to protect Bran from the Night King. Okay, so that's how you frame it.
Also, he had a heroic moment before when he saved Sansa. This is
Brian Cogman. It was difficult for Alfie because there was a degree of physical stunt work and effects and things that were out of his control. And for him to have to play his final moments amidst all that chaos and craziness was tremendously challenging for him. I remember the night we shot it, and it was just one of those things you had to do in addition to a bunch of other things. It's only when it came together and you see beautiful subtlety and anguish in his performance, but also that kind of catharsis that Theon's finally at peace going out to protect Bran. For all the talk of redemption arcs, fulfilled or not, his was certainly fulfilled.
Sort of.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
Exactly.
Good old Brian. Reading into the script.
I'm pretty sure Theon has no dialogue in the episode aside from his one talk with Bran at the very start.
There's barely any dialogue, period.
Like
but you can
quarter
see
hour,
it
maybe?
just behind the eyes, guys. You can see it.
You've just triggered us. You just triggered us.
You're fucking wrong! You're so fucking wrong! You're wrong! You're lying!
This is why I'm fucking drinking.
Okay, and Jorah Mormont, who died protecting Daenerys from the army of the dead. Ian Glenn. You either conclude as a character, or you get the end of the whole thing, and people try to project forward of what's the future of your character that you'll never know. I was happy to conclude. He would absolutely sacrifice his life for her to succeed. In a way, he was given the conclusion he wanted. I'm gonna press X to doubt.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of a similar thing with Gwendolyn earlier. Like they're kind of seeing what they wish had happened and what could have been if they'd actually like fucking written the story and used the elements that they sort of shoved in there.
Yeah, I've seen at least a couple of people criticize how, like, there's no, like, Jorah's conclusion isn't really that much of a conclusion because this, like, nothing happened between season 1 and season 8 that would really affect his decision in this moment.
Yeah.
He just dies defending his queen.
Oh, and he gets stabbed right through his armor with the broken ass
with a
sword.
Broken, rusty knife.
It's worth noting here that the lady he died for a couple of episodes later will be mass murdering
children.
Population.
Yep.
A little bit awkward.
So, honestly, could you guys give me some suggestions for a better ending for Jorah?
I honestly think that him being a Queen Slayer would actually have been better.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Either that or like having him turn against Daenerys.
Someone had him go to the Night's Watch. I think that might be macabre storytelling.
I think that's actually might be.
I think that's a book thing because Gior tells Sam to tell Jorah. I think it was.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Yeah.
So, like, Gior wants Jorah to take the black. So that's like a popular prediction that he will.
Yeah. I think Macabre storyline also said Jon Snow becoming king not because he's a Targaryen, but because he's not a Targaryen is actually more subversive than Jon not becoming king.
Yeah, I agree. Like, so much dramatic irony skipped over.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
I'll just keep going.
Yeah, even though like it says Bran, like George R. R. Martin says Bran will be king.
I mean, we talked about this
Probably
last.
will be.
We talked about this last time, right? Like,
Yeah.
What does it mean to be king?
Yeah. Well,
But
kind of,
I'll just keep going.
Yeah, sure.
Dave Hill. For a long time, we wanted Ser Jorah there at the wall in the very end. The three coming out of the tunnel in the series finale were to be Jon, Jorah, and Tormund.
What?
What?
That is a strange trio, but the amount of logic we'd have had to bend to get Jorah up to the wall and get him to leave Dany's side right before her tragic turn. There's no way to do that blindly. And Jorah should have the noble death he craved, defending the woman he loves.
I was actually kind of expecting the third name to be another J name.
What we two can do, you and me and you. Buck yourself up, don't look so sad. In my master plan.
This is dumb!
Tell me
It can't be for real! It can't be! No movie could possibly be this stupid! It has to be a dream sequence or...
butterflies and...
What the hell am I even looking at?
So who are we quoting here again?
Dave Hill.
Okay.
I believe.
So, okay. You don't have to bend that much logic to have Jorah at the wall.
No, you don't.
Because
Besides, what logic?
Also, why this paragraph mentions get him to leave Dany's side right before her quote-unquote tragic turn. Can be after.
So, wait. Does he think that the going to the wall, why not just have Jorah at there and he be there for the turn? He's horrified, and then he lives and goes to the wall and goes beyond it. That actually would have been better.
No, it's legion logic, guy.
You wouldn't have to bend any logic for that. Certainly not anymore than the absurd amount of bullshit in this episode alone.
Also, the anti-plot,
you're not
the
actual
anti-plot
writers.
armor. The anti-plot armor is so weird.
May I note something?
Yeah.
Her tragic turn is in square brackets, so that's not something that Dave Hill actually said. Presumably,
That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Yeah.
That was
but
cute.
the thing is, I know that like Jorah gets sort of niceified in the show, as compared to the books. But it's like,
Jorah's a creep.
Should Jorah really have the noble death he craved?
Yeah, in the show, he's very much exiled knight stereotype. Even from the beginning, mostly because Ian Glenn is a very, very attractive man in his mid-40s.
Wait, he's only in his mid-40s?
At least I think, like, at the time of the show's beginning, maybe he's 50 now, but he doesn't look like he's 50.
I mean,
like he's like a British Tom Cruise.
I mean, Nikolai Coster-Waldau is also around 50. So
that's true.
No, he is 59. So he would be around late 40s, approaching 50 when the show started.
Shit.
So yeah, he would be in his 50s for most of it.
Yeah.
Man.
Here's a question for you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
Since when have they had a problem with bending plot logic to get people to the wall? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Damn, I completely missed that.
Don, you should really highlight this, and we should come back to this in the final episode.
Yeah.
Because the amount of logic bending they do in that episode to get John to the wall is
but they can get
absurd.
Danny to the wall so they can kill me off in
I was
spectacular
thinking of
fashion.
fucking White Hunt, so they've already done it. So I don't know why they're bothering.
The Martells killed the Sand Snakes killed Doron in order to avenge House Martell.
Yeah.
And they ended up failing spectacularly at getting
That's
revenge.
that's season 5 or 6. That's like season 6, I think.
Yeah, very beginning of season 6, even though Mr. Alexander Siddig was contracted for 2 more episodes after
4
that.
more episodes, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, 4?
It was at least 3 because I believe Dragon the Man said he was contracted for 4 episodes, and then he got killed off in his first one.
And he's not mentioned anywhere in this book. I've checked.
Yeah, that's a very interesting omission.
Can you just search Siddig?
Oh,
have you
this
tried
book
that?
has not been enabled for. Oh, maybe it's just. Oh,
Yeah, he's not going to come up.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway,
I put it on Twitter.
another
so-
casualty was young Liana Mormont. Actress Bella Ramsey was originally only cast for a single episode in season 6, but she was such a ferocious scene stealer the showrunners kept bringing her back. Ramsey's favorite of her character's feisty lines, "I don't care if he's a bastard, Ned Stark's blood runs through his veins."
Good God.
I completely forgot. Did they ever talk about Rickon?
Nope.
They also don't talk about how Sansa is Ned Stark's blood.
You have a point.
And also,
It
in the
is.
show continuity, they know that Bran is alive.
Yeah.
Well, they know that he's alive as per season 4. They can't quite be sure from there.
Yeah. At least they know that he didn't die in Winterfell as of the what is it?
Because in season, I believe it's in season 4, Sam tells John about it, even though he promised not to in the book.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Brian Cogman. Bella's first scene could have been a disaster. It could have easily ended up on the cutting room floor if some cute kid actor came in. But she was utterly credible. And at one point, Kit blew a line and she fed it to him because she had memorized every line in the scene.
Dang. Bella Ramsey, you go, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has been cast as Ellie for the HBO Last of Us show. Not the best casting, I would say, but she'll probably do well.
She'll do fine.
Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to come back to in the last paragraph. She was originally only cast for a single episode in season 6, even more credence to the idea that the original ending for the Battle of the Bastards was lost.
Yes. She was a fix for that.
Alright.
Yeah.
This fucking guy. Mark Mylod, director. Kid was all, "I wished I'd learned my lines better. I'm being shown up." It was one of those times when we called cut and there was a spontaneous round of applause.
I think he was just being snarky there. And having fun with her.
Probably.
I imagine so.
But yeah, Mark fucking Mylod.
Yeah. I seem to recall him
He was the guy who directed season 6, episode 7 and 8. So yeah, him and dumbass and dipshit tend to be a pretty bad combination.
Seems like it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, in The Long Night, Lyanna faced off against a zombie giant. She was crushed in his fist, yet still managed to take him down by stabbing him in the eye. That's it? No mention of how stupid it was?
And how it shifts from an axe to a knife.
I mean, you know, she's the actress. She's not necessarily supposed to go, hey, it was dumb. And she is, you know.
Well, she is not the one talking. The director is talking.
Oh, right. Oops.
She starts talking right after this.
Oh, right.
He's coming up.
Fair enough.
Becca kind of forgot.
Becca got confused. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Bella Ramsey. There was one thing Miguel said to me that I don't think I'll ever forget. I wasn't sure if she would be really scared or just a slight bit of scared. We tried it several ways. He said, it's like someone removed her fear gene. And that was a really great bit of direction. The story maybe had the potential to grow, but she was going to go at some point because everyone does. And the way she went was the best way she could have. I wanted to either end up on the Iron Throne or have a really good death. So I'm happy.
I mean, she sounds like a badass kid. Like,
yeah, she is a pretty cool kid. Yeah.
I have no idea where she envisioned her character could grow from there, though. She's not a character with a lot of potential to grow, as far as I've seen.
No, she's kind of a meme.
You can kind of grow her voice louder.
Melisandre perished as well. The Red Woman returned to help defeat the forces of darkness.
Wait, hold.
Granting eternal youth, and walked into the sunrise, her body decomposing to join the piles of dead.
You can tell how fucking stupid these people are. Like how they're fucking clueless. Like they said the army of darkness, like evil.
Forces of darkness.
They're just Terminators. They're not evil or good.
I thought they were the army of the dead.
No, Dunn, you're forgetting Crasters and his kids.
They're also
They're supposed to be more nuanced than that, rather than just Terminators and shit.
Like,
what's nuance?
I forgot. I kind of forgot. Sorry. I'm a Game of Thrones writer now. Hold on.
Yeah. Kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces. They certainly haven't forgotten about her.
See?
Yeah, why did Melisandre die, by the way? Like, she just takes off her necklace and that's that.
I can explain, guys, because it was her time.
It was thematically appropriate.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Creatively,
of course.
Creatively, it made sense to us again.
Yes.
Yeah, this whole episode is. I actually have made this clip specifically for this.
Are you two still living?
I'm a little puzzled by what Clarice Van Houten says. She saved the day. How did she save the day?
By directing Arya to kill the Night King, I guess.
And by lighting the trench and
God.
Which, I mean, she lights up a bunch of swords, which accomplishes nothing. She then lights a trench, which accomplishes nothing. And then she's just in there telling Arya to go kill the Night King with some cryptic prophecy bullshit. And then she walks out and leaves.
No, it's just a retcon from earlier season.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like she's going to kill someone with eyes.
I mean, I don't know about you guys.
A lot of people have blue eyes, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but when I want to save a day, that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know what? You're going to kill someone with these eyes. I am going to save the universe now. I'm just going to walk up to the nearest guy with blue eyes and just stab him. Like, all right, that's it. That's my goal for the day.
My father has blue eyes, incidentally, so please don't kill him.
So I guess Melisandre just said, my job's done. Bye.
My work is done. My planet needs me.
Anyway, Carice Van Houten, Melisandre. She saved the day, so she's a bit of a hero in the end, which is cool because for a long time she was hated. In a very bombastic orchestra piece, I was happy to be the soft piano notes at the end. We finally know what she came for, and it's the end of her journey. I can go now. My work's done. I tried to play it with tiredness, but with relief.
Oh, I just remembered. Remember that part in the other show? What was it called? Fucking. It was another HBO show. Fucking.
Sopranos?
It was about the. Huh? No, it was about the animatronics coming to life or some shit.
Westworld.
Remember when they rubbed that in on our faces with Dave and Dan? That little thing they did in season 2.
Cameo.
Yeah, the little cameo where they're butchering a dragon. Literally, they're like taking an animatronic dragon and they're about to like cut it up into pieces with a chainsaw.
But yeah, maybe this little paragraph that I just read would have made any sense if we knew anything about Melisandre's backstory or motivations.
Fire cannot kill a dragon, but D&D can.
Lol.
Yeah.
Hey, take a look at this picture, Dad. I didn't know they actually built one.
Let me see.
I'll just keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Sometimes a character's last line, even a simple one, can be the toughest to say. Once you speak those words, you will never again play a role that you've lived for so many years wrong. Carice Van Houten. I wasn't able to nail my last sentence. I say to Liam, you don't have to kill me because I'll be dead before dawn. I got a bit cranky. I feel like I'd done 60 takes of that line. I couldn't nail it. I don't know why.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Because 60 takes in, you're completely insane, funnily enough. Fucking hell.
And you can't channel any emotion into it.
Because you're sick to death of saying it already.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Perhaps most crucially, we're getting into it now. The Night King also fell. Arya dispatched the White Walker leader with her Valyrian steel dagger, which was introduced in the show's first season when an assassin used it to attack Bran Stark. No shit, Mycroft.
Ha 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 ha! Look at me so clever.
To Catelyn, then to Littlefinger, then to Bran, and then to Arya, who also used it to kill Littlefinger in season 7. Wow, talk about stating the obvious. Given that the Night King is not in Martin's books, the manner of his death was a major climactic decision that was left to the showrunners. They initially considered several hero candidates to take out the story's biggest villain. So I guess that whole we knew for 3 years shit is also bull.
Oh my god. What the fuck is that paragraph?
A major climactic decision. It was like the most underwhelming, wet fart anti-climax ever.
Yeah.
Great fucking job.
I've seen clips of it, and it is like, what the hell am I even watching?
Yeah, I just
watched. It's just like in Phantom Menace. Just take out the control tower, and all the droids stop working.
I just watched 8 fucking years of story just down the drain, and it just shattered right before my eyes. Fucking literally. Like, that was just fucking great.
We considered several candidates.
Just had to remind us of Littlefinger's death in the middle there too. Jesus Christ. Let's just get this even worse than it already is.
Is this like the worst? Is this the worst paragraph in terms of trying to sell writing in this whole book?
Yeah, nothing about writing in there.
It might be because, like, we knew for 3 years that Arya would be the one to strike the fatal blow, and yet this one says.
Also, keep in mind, it's 23 years ago when he said that. That would be 2017. 2016, 2017, when they wrote season 7.
Might have even been while they were filming season 7.
Oh yeah, kind of like season 8 where they changed Daenerys' storyline like on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Not even on the fly, they changed it after the fact.
Oh yeah, sorry, I kind of forgot.
Also, like
how incompetent
they are. It's shocked, like there's concept. The concept art is very, very, very damning. And also just like the commentary. We were working on CGI like 2 or 3 weeks before the finale. It's like, wow.
Yep. You remember the bit where the VFX chap saying, this was originally a wildfire shot. Then we changed it to not a wildfire shot. Note the wording there. We changed it to ... not a wildfire shot.
Oh yeah, we did this on Anomaly stream way back in the day. Like we were noticing when Drogon was firing at the buildings. I always kept saying, "Imagine that as wildfire instead of a dragon."
And
it makes more sense.
Yeah, because
why
the
the buildings are exploding.
The fire is coming from the sides. Like it just looks like they recolored it and put a dragon in there.
Is Dany even in those shots?
Barely at all.
Only the dragon. Only Drogon.
Like if you picture all of those exploding scenes, like even King's Landing, even the Red Keep when Drogon attacks it, like it makes more sense if you picture that it was just wildfire stashed inside the Red Keep that went off.
We see Daenerys have a weird angry face on top of Drogon. Then Drogon just jumps off the tower, and we don't see Dany again until the next episode.
We don't even see like her on his back. Like it just. Let me actually play the moment where she goes nuts.
No, not Blarion.
This will kill me.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but green.
You see a blurb of a little blurb. You don't see you don't really see her very much. So, and there are points where it's just the positioning of Drogon's back. It doesn't look like they put in Dany.
And so she should have a fucking saddle too, by the way.
Yeah, just hanging on. Like while she's doing moves like that, like physics was defenestrated a little bit ago.
Oh, remember when Bran was talking about saddles in season 8?
Yeah, and this is why I have saddles for the Dragonlord Annals, which is why I didn't like contrive a way that Aemond just like hangs onto Vagar's back, even though they're like cartwheeling through the air fighting a pair of fell beasts.
Unless Dany is holding on some other way.
Yeah.
No comment.
Anyway, Does anyone have anything to say here that hasn't been said about this scene already?
The only thing I have to say about that.
It would be extremely painful for you.
Indeed.
I've seen that clip a lot.
Yep.
And we're moving on to something.
Mary Wilcox, yes, in the books he does.
Yep.
I don't know if they really. I don't know. Do they address in the show whether or not they removed it?
Well, we know that they used wildfire caches to blow up the Sept.
Yeah, but that seemed like they planned it.
And they destroyed. Well, they said like she said, was that little project you were working on did it bear fruit? And he's like, oh yeah.
And you can see, or maybe you can see a wildfire in the scenes where King's Landing is being burnt. There are little bits of green. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're coming to something interesting, though. We didn't want it to.
Anyway, David fucking Benioff.
David
It had
Epple.
to be somebody with
Here we go.
believable access to Valyrian steel. We didn't want it to be John.
Oh boy.
Because
Why?
he's always saving the day.
Oh,
We talked about the Hound at one point, but we wanted his big thing to be Clegane Ball.
Oh my god, the fucking meme.
Ultimately, it wouldn't have felt right if it was John or Brienne or the Hound.
They actually said Clegane Ball. David Benioff.
Fucking get this in the game.
Meme. A fucking meme. You fucking kidding me?
I have a question. Is it correct to say? Is it actually correct to say that John is always saving the day?
A goddamn meme.
No, it's not.
Fucking god damn it.
No, like John is leading the charge.
The way John has never saved the day by himself. Like, it's always been the product of some sort of team effort. Or B, he fucks up and one of his sisters have to bail him out of his stupid battle strategy.
What strategy?
That's a very good question. There wasn't one.
But yeah, you could have had it be like anybody. But you could have the Death of the Night King be John. You could have had it be Beric. You could have it be Melisandre. You could have it be a team effort, which would actually pay off the whole theme of coming together.
Have it be Jamie.
Yeah.
When has John ever saved the day? Like, what are we talking about saving the day? What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I mean, he led the fighting at Hardhome. There is that.
But they didn't really sit.
They barely saved anybody in that one.
Yeah, Hardhome was not a save the day moment.
Hardhome was a let's survive this horrible situation. It was basically they were stuck in a more violent version of Alien, Alien War, I think it was the theme arc experience.
I guess you could say Dunkirk in a way.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Dunkirk. Apparently, it's good. I haven't seen it.
But yeah, the thing is, like, almost anybody would have been better than Arya. Like, a team effort would have been way better than Arya because it would have solidified this whole thing of come together against the greater threat. It's like, nope.
No, actually, Daenerys. No, Cersei's the greater threat. No, actually, it's Daenerys. Actually, it's Bran. Actually, fuck you.
Pause. Valerian had something to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth noting here, ultimately, it wouldn't have felt right if it was John or Brienne or the Hound. That's that phraseology again. It just didn't feel right. It just didn't.
How did it make you feel?
Right.
No.
Just didn't feel right. We're back to Whim almost.
Anyway, Dan
let's keep
Weiss.
going.
Then we put in Sam's book from the Citadel, how Dragonglass had found its way into the design of implements when people didn't even know what they were working with. And there's a picture of Arya's dagger.
What the fuck is that mean?
And that is your foreshadowing, apparently?
Okay.
Like,
And
as a non-native English speaker, what the fuck is an implement?
Okay.
this
David
context?
Benioff over here. Look at this.
Implement just means tool.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just a
okay.
fancy way of saying tool.
David fucking Benioff. That dagger had been set up from the very beginning, and we knew Arya was going to get it at the end of season 7 to kill Littlefinger. It had to be Arya. It goes back to the whole not today thing.
What?
What?
What does that mean?
What does that have to do with Littlefinger?
This man doesn't know what setup is. First off, like that's
Nor
not-
payoff.
Like what?
Nor logic.
What's
Nor themes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Setup and payoff are for 8th grade book reports.
They are indeed for 8th grade reports. Thank you. Yes, I should have said that.
8th graders deserve more.
Logic is for 8th grade good book reports.
Words are too.
Words.
Logic is
You're correct, Mr. Stevenson. Everything they say is all lies and incompetence.
And it's all for 8th grade book reports.
Yep. That's why dialogue.
Dan Weiss, what do you say to the god of death? Well, the Night King is the closest embodiment to the god of death.
And yet he gets taken out like a pup.
There was also a
Well, you see that we killed the god of death, so no one can die.
Anyone can be killed.
And you see, once we killed the god of death, nobody can actually die. So when Danny murdered everybody, they didn't actually die.
Oh, cool. So it has a happy end. It's happy. But then John didn't kill her either.
I can't believe that they reduced this a lot to, oh, Macy. Who does that?
I don't know.
Oh, in this massive ensemble cast, this one character. Oh, this character gets fucking everything. It's all about this character because we love the actress so fucking much.
Maisie Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Dear, oh dear.
I'll just keep reading.
Yeah.
Miguel Sapochnik. I was going to have the sequence before she kills him, showing each character in the story fighting their way to the final moment. I was going to shoot it so that we begin to intercut between them and they all begin to become the same character. I was interested in the idea that all children of these kings were all fated to become this role, including the Night King. He's the product of something that went wrong with the children of the forest. It would culminate with all the characters having the same composition. But we cut that. Once we paired it back, I thought, if I see Arya running, I know she's going to do something. So it was about almost losing her from the story, and then have her as a surprise. We're pinning all our hopes on John being the guy going to do it because he's
my
always
fucking expectations,
the guy.
You fucking god.
So we make him a continuous shot. I want the
Spocknik, go fuck yourself.
I get the
Next
feeling.
page.
I get the feeling that this is the
Audience to
company
think
line stuff.
John's gonna do it, and then he fails. He fails at the very last minute.
That's because you wrote it that way.
We can probably go back.
Yeah. What?
Okay, so I was interested in the idea they're all children of these kings who are all fated to become this role, including the Night King. What kind of sentence is that?
What does that mean?
I don't understand. This is utter nonsense.
Yep.
I don't understand. I don't even understand like what exactly the idea that he is going for. Intercut, like, what do you mean? Children of all these kings, like Brienne's not the child of a king.
Neither is Jaime.
It's
like
this.
Which of these characters are actually children of the kings? None of them.
Not even Jon Snow. Jon Snow's dad was the Prince of Dragonstone. That's the extent of his pedigree.
Become this role, including the Night King. Yeah, that sentence, I don't know what he's on about that.
It would culminate with all the characters having the same composition. Like, talk about being boring.
Dragon, assess. Help us, please. we don't speak D&D speak.
Explain our wisdom. Explain this wisdom to us.
Yeah.
We have to subvert their expectations.
Let's make John fail. Good idea.
Yeah.
The thing is,
So,
having
a lot of
John
people
fail
like
at
Jon
some
Snow.
having John fail in a crucial moment is not a bad thing, but
the way they
like,
did
why
it.
here? Why this way?
Remember before the Night King was raising the dead, he just stood there and did nothing. I think like, everybody pointed this out. Like when the Night King was trying to raise the dead, he stopped walking, he turned around, he started raising his hands, and John just stopped running and just stood there like a fucking retard because he is fucking. He was a neutered fucking whip dog that John fucking Snow is nowadays.
He didn't
He's
fail
Jake
like
Snow.
doing his best.
He's Jake
fucking
Snow.
just standing there.
Instead of actually sprinting towards the Night King and trying to fucking smite him down with this sword, no, I'm just gonna stand there and let his army get revived.
Yeah. Is the prince the... Yeah, I would agree.
Oh dear.
Dan Weiss, we wanted to show there were overwhelming numbers and how nobody through sheer hack and slash could do it. The obstacle between them and the Night King was insurmountable.
There was nothing between them and the Night King. John just stood there like a fucking idiot.
Unless you had something magical going for you on our side, which Arya did. She's a person the Night King wouldn't be thinking about, and ideally the audience wouldn't be thinking about her at the moment either. So I guess she just has the flying Raijin jutsu or something.
well, she took Varys' jetpack when he wasn't paying attention.
I guess so, yeah.
She got the teleportation shit. That's magical, right?
Yeah.
Time and space mean nothing.
She's Dr. Manhattan.
No, that's Bran.
She's Dr. Manhattan too.
Dr. Manhattan's sister.
Yeah.
Because at one point she's gonna take over Bran's role in the story because she gets everyone's role in the story, and she's gonna turn everyone in the past into herself.
Oh fucking god!
Won't that be a riot?
Yeah, that was a joke that
Christ.
Preston made in his watch of the finale.
Good old Preston giving us life. Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I love.
Yeah,
Preston
not
very
exactly an
much.
insurmountable obstacle.
Fucking hell!
Also, how nobody through sheer hack and slash could do it. So that is what you've been doing the whole episode.
Oh fucking hell!
Oh, I cannot wait. You gotta read the next paragraph.
I have to wonder, who exactly is the Night King supposed to be thinking of?
Bran and John, I think. I
thought the only thing the Night King was supposed
Arya
to-
is basically completely disposable. Nice. Maisie Williams, it was so unbelievably exciting, but I immediately thought that everybody would hate it and that she doesn't deserve it. I told my boyfriend, and he was like, it should be John though, really, shouldn't it? And that didn't give me a lot of confidence. The hardest thing is, in any series you build up a villain that's so impossible to defeat, and then you defeat him. Some
because he was a
100-pound
fucking
girl
idiot.
comes in and stabs him. It has to be intelligently done.
Oh my
Intelligently
god!
done my fucking ass.
That fucking last sentence! Oh my god!
Okay, so this chapter is not the most horrifying in terms of production hell. It's probably the dumbest in terms of writing.
I think they're they're kind of obscuring a lot of the production hell that went on.
Yeah, they are.
Words. Like the whole thing. Like we're talking story wise.
Wait. Let Valerian talk, and then you can go.
Can I just remind everyone of that the Long Night documentary was devoted to this same episode?
Yes.
And if you saw that, or even the bit with the Dragon Demands posted, then you'll know that yes. And they probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they were leaving out some of the worst things too.
Yeah, they've done a lot of leaving out.
An incredible amount of leaving out.
Yeah, they've left out.
I don't think I was here for the season 5 stuff, but did they address Jane Poole at all?
Nope, I think barely any.
And they didn't talk about how ridiculously out of character it was for Littlefinger to do that.
Nope. They also didn't. Also Alexander Siddig is not mentioned this entire book.
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
How many mentions does Stephen Delane get?
Probably around 17. Like, there's a whole chapter devoted to Stannis, I think.
Oh wow!
Or there's a section of a chapter devoted to Stannis, as far as I remember.
So they're gonna drag him through the mud even more.
Oh,
okay,
no.
Lovely.
Anyway, I'm moving on.
Also, yeah, why would they have an entire chapter like devoted to the pranks? That is really stupid.
And William's perception of the twist changed after she shot her scene.
Hey.
I've already started, White. Shut up.
No, you said I can go next on the talking. I was going to point out because he's like, he is so impossible to kill, but yet they made him so ridiculously retarded that they were able to kill him in the first place. They put him in that situation.
Yeah, the sheer amount of plot-induced stupidity there is absurd.
Yes.
Like, he can literally control these things from like a bazillion miles away. He does not need to be there.
He can swipe Winterfell with undead Viserion and level the fucking place.
Like that map I showed you guys. He could have literally leveled Winterfell right after he broke down the wall. Like they had to do some really retarded shit to make sure the White Walker army didn't arrive at Winterfell before Jon and the crew got it back. Because you have to remember, Jon and the crew went all the way to King's Landing and all the way back with the Dragonglass and all of Dany's armies. Imagine how much time that would have took. And they had time to get to Winterfell and forge weapons and go to the Frozen Hearth and back to Winterfell.
Oh yeah, season 7, there was this joke about the Whites are just everyone else is zipping along, and the Whites are just do. I think it's in one of Preston Jacobs' season 7 watch things. They're just going, and everyone else is going zip, 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 zip all around Westeros.
Yeah. So imagine that, by the time they reached King's Landing, the White Walkers would have already decimated Winterfell in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't need his army; it would just need the dragon and him, and he just melts the fucking castle down.
Yeah, let's keep
doesn't
going.
even melt it; he dissolves it.
Well, yeah, because I got an upgrade.
Yeah, Williams' perception of the twist changed after she shot her scene with Van Houten, in which Melisandre reminded Arya what she told her in season 3.
Oh,
I see a darkness in you, blah, 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 blah. Brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes you'll shut forever, we will meet again. The scene suggested Arya was fated to destroy the Night King, though the order of the eye colors was changed to conclude with blue eyes when Melisandre repeated the line.
Saying that like it's clever and not a fucking retcon. Oh my god.
This guy's just spouting it with no commentary, that just happened. Not like that's the biggest, most ridiculous story shift in the entire fucking show.
Yeah, that retcon is something else. That's one of the worst retcons. Maybe
and they also just say they just changed the order. And also they're saying we didn't plan this in season 3. We planned this near the tail end of season 7.
Carice Van Houten. I felt like that guy in the movie who gives the main character one last push to do it, like in a football game.
All fits in with
We had to make the show appropriate for NFL players and soccer moms.
Yeah.
Macy Williams. We were shooting the bit with Melisandre, and she brings it back to everything Arya's been working on for over these past 6 seasons. It all comes down to this one very moment. So then I was like, fuck you, John, I get it.
Yeah.
So, fucking brain dead, in other words.
This is so funny. Like, this is so funny.
I have to wonder if Vladimir Furdik is going to be mentioned even once.
Oh, that's just simple. That next paragraph. Oh, that's a real fun one right there, isn't it? I skimmed ahead a bit.
So Melisandre not only gave Arya the confidence to attack the Night King, but also convinced Williams that her character
it gets better.
could pull it
Keep
off.
going.
Of course, whether Arya was truly destined to destroy the Night King, or Melisandre simply encouraged the right person at the right time, is, as with all prophecies on thrones, left unclear. But
That's
thousands
super
of years
fucking
ago,
convenient, isn't that?
the children of the
All of
forest
our writing problems
created
solved
the
with
demon
prophecies
by piercing a captive man in the heart with dragon glass.
Whoa, it's
And
prophecy.
the young Stark managed to stab him in roughly the same place.
Well,
The Night King was unmade as he was made.
Oh my!
Okay, so not only
Bullshit.
that, factually, blatantly wrong.
Managed to
He's
stab
not.
him in
He's
roughly
not
the
even
same
stabbed
place.
by the same material.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Also, yeah, that's a very, very good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, she
Or you
never
know
said
how
that.
Cersei's whole thing was like cut out, and then she had 4 kids instead of 3.
I guess the whole thing with prophecies is BS, which
Well, it's only
could
works
be
when they needed
interesting.
to.
That could
Yeah.
be an interesting take. But the problem is when you're setting it up and large numbers of the prophecies in the show are real.
The thing is, I think in the books they're just gonna. I think in the books they're just gonna subvert and say, "Oh, the prophecy, like it's like in Harry Potter, prophecy is just a load of baloney."
Yeah.
Well, they
even
tend to
just-
be real in a certain light.
or that prophecy tends more to influence people to do things more than prophecy is predictions of the future.
Yeah.
I think like the major
Which, funnily
thing-
enough, is not that uncommon for prophecies.
Oh yeah, that's total. It's basically all of Greek tragedy.
All of Percy Jackson,
which is basically Greek tragedy, but for teenagers.
Yeah.
And less
in Harry Potter has this as well.
With less bestiality.
Hey, you leave my bestiality alone, you shit.
But I think honestly, like there are a few things. I think Lucifer Means Lightbringer has some interesting theories about like the fact that like Azor Ahai is not the hero, Azor Ahai is the bad guy. I think that that's an interesting idea because
I mean, the thing is, why should we trust the prophecy of Azor Ahai? It's made by a bunch of fanatical fire worshippers.
It's also like he kills his wife for a magic sword. And it's framed by Davos as like, that's psychopathic. Nobody should do that. That's not worth it. And it seems as though like a lot of Azor Ahai imagery is associated with people like Euron.
No.
Yeah, by the way, Don, could you highlight the part where they use the term demon? Because we're gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
All they fear is you intensifies.
There's a few things like Azor Ahai, like at least like the Salt and Smoke bit. That's definitely, I think like the bits of the prophecy like that are Danny, but I think the Azor High legend is is clearly a bad guy who invaded the Weirwood Net and created the White Walkers. I buy that particular theory because it makes the most sense. I could be wrong. I tend to like accept theories pretty easily, and very rarely do I think that they're bad, because mostly theories are just that, theories, and some of them are interesting story ideas.
And some of them are just crazy.
Oh yeah, some of them are just crazy. Yeah, like
anyway,
and some of them are like way too on the nose to be anything other than read by leaks. Thank you, Yesen. Yeah.
Anyway, Kit Harington. I thought it was gonna be me, but I like it because it gives Arya's training a purpose.
What training?
It's much better how she does it.
She
they must be reading it some audience members that he's hunting the Night King, and you're expecting this epic fight, and it never happens. But that's kind of Thrones.
What?
This?
I mean, not like killing the mountain and Kyber and Cersei would give Arya's training a purpose.
Ramsay is pretty satisfying, I guess. Like, even shooting actual arrows. We don't know that for sure, folks, but considering everything else, where we can't unfortunately totally rule it out, which is actually kind of frightening.
But yeah, she could have killed Cersei. Boom. Training has a purpose. She could have killed Gregor. Training has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking story has so many fucking holes in it. It's ridiculous.
What story?
Are you only just noticing this?
It's what I like to call a literary minger sponge.
That is true. Unlike
I think the
Weinstein.
reason for that is that dumbass and dipshit are too clueless to even go through with it.
They're also married.
If season 8 was a ship,
at least as far as David Benioff is concerned, to a woman way out of his league.
If season 8 was a ship, and it would sink faster than the Lusitania.
Yeah. At least we kind of don't have to worry about there kind of were sexual controversies. Like, not like people were assaulted, but
brown women are hot, you know.
Yeah, there were kind of things like
Sansa's rape.
Well, I think talking about in terms of how things were shot, rather than a
the sex position.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. That was the worst sexual controversy, or the filming of the quote unquote rape scene in the Sept of Baelor, that they politely don't mention, even though their cast was left out to dry.
Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes years for these things to get revealed, though. So because we don't know there wasn't sexual harassment doesn't mean there wasn't.
Yes, that is also a good point. Bullying act. Yeah, we don't know whether or not they were pushed.
Yeah. By the way,
know that that's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
We won't kill you. We
yeah.
promise.
By the way, CT20, but that's kind of Thrones. That's like saying hold of ramming ships at hyperspeed is kind of Star Wars.
Also, to be fair, it's kind of a low bar to say, well, at least no one was assaulted.
Yeah.
True.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, at least nobody died.
At least nobody died. They were put into multiple near-death situations.
The good thing that one actress didn't slip off the forklift and hang themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nearly happened,
or
but, you know.
or fell off the cliff, or got decapitated, or got hit with a real arrow.
A little bar indeed, yes.
Or somebody got
premature explosions of those
or got thrown or somebody got thrown off of. Well, we do know that David Benioff said, "Hey, Jason, please take off the penis sock. Just take it off." And he's like, "No, that is for my wife only. Suck it."
No comment.
Awkward.
All right, Isaac Hempstead right, Bran Stark. That moment before when Bran sees the Night King is about to attack him, my reading of that was that Bran should look at him with pity because he knows how this guy was created. He's not a monster. He's a weapon who's gone badly wrong. He's
a
an
weapon who's gone
innocent
badly
man
wrong.
with a piece of glass plunged in his heart, and we ended up playing it like that. I'm sorry this happened to you.
That
bullshit.
Dragon the Mans, where the fuck was that?
Where the
Yeah,
fuck was
I
that?
just, I've got a couple ones. This one.
No, that is not correct.
Also, he's not a monster. 2 paragraphs ago, created the demon.
Yeah.
And also,
Where the fuck was that?
And also this whole crap about the forces of death and the forces of darkness. All this stupid generic fantasy dialogue. What the fuck are you even doing here?
Yeah, that was never on screen. Bran 9000 Dr. Bran Hatton just stared because he was just I think it was just like he just looked like he was passionate. Like, why did you introduce my Westeros Pornhub binge, you dick?
Is this sentence might just contradict more. Not this sentence, but this paragraph might just be more contradictory than anything else we've read so far.
Yeah. Okay. There were also dragons.
There were also dragons and giants, and Jon Snow's direwolf Ghost in the battle as well, even though we don't see him for most
all
of
of it.
Oh,
we see him for 10 seconds. But the producers
God,
adding the fabled ice spiders that Old Man had hauntingly described in season 1.
You know,
when
those
telling
producers
the
can
legend
go
of the
fuck
Long
themselves.
Night.
Right up a fucking cliff.
Dan Weiss,
Go back.
big ass hounds.
Go back, please.
I need to screen cap that.
So a little bit here. Here's another thing. They made up the white dragon to get them across the wall.
They made up the polar bear.
Yeah, they said we came up with it. It's not an idea from George's book. So that implies to me that there's not going to be an undead dragon in the book.
Yeah. I feel oppressed now.
Yeah.
By the way, Don, how much is left of this chapter?
11 pages.
Stop denying my existence, Don.
Well,
okay, I feel like we really should do a 2-parter because we're almost at 3 hours.
Man. Okay.
Can we get a palate cleanser at least? Because I'm flaming. I feel like I'm about to melt.
Okay, should we just to keep this at a relatively reasonable length? Should we just read up until the Ian Glenn portion and then call it a day?
Yeah, let's go to 2 hours. Let's go to 3 hours and then we'll call it good.
All right, Dan Weiss, biggest hounds. Didn't we talk about that for 30 seconds? Sounds good. Looks good on a metal album cover. But once they start moving, what does an ice spider look like? Probably doesn't look great.
You uncreative motherfucker. You absolute worthless hack of a writer.
Bear in mind, Return of the King is
here. We'll be fighting some fan art of ice spiders.
Is what
fucking piece of shit
is at this point 16 years old, and that spider still looks good.
That's Shelob is still fucking terrifying.
Legged freaks
made out of fucking ice. What
Here. I'm gonna screen share this mother.
Also,
you could literally just copy and paste a shrunk Shelob model.
Also, frickin' Star Wars had
look at
ice
this
spiders
shit.
in the Mandalorian.
Look at this. Now, yeah. This doesn't look scary. What was the quote again?
It probably wouldn't look great.
Yeah, this doesn't look great at all. Like, oh no. Oh my.
Specifically,
it's
the
like
one in the
some dark
middle.
shit.
What is this shit?
The one above that.
Oh wait, this is from George. This is fan. Oh. Yeah, that's not terrifying. That's not horror. That's yeah. Okay.
So White, could you go to the bottom right, bottom left, second from the right, second from the left?
What, are we on this side?
Yep. Next one. That one's from the official calendar.
That's not. Yeah, it just doesn't look
terrifying.
Look
That's
great, no.
terrifying.
That is pretty terrifying.
Dan
yeah.
Weiss, you uncreative mother. Cut.
It was supposed to have ice spiders big as hounds, but then they chickened out and just had a bunch of boring zombies.
The thing is, they
freaks.
could have done something to spice up the battle a little with introducing these giant spiders that just come rampaging in and knock people over.
And it's not hard to do.
You could literally just do you could literally be lazy and do a shrunk Shelob model with a blue filter or something.
Yeah.
Like, people would probably let them off the hook for it.
Oh yeah, they would have. Yeah, they would have.
Hey, have you guys ever seen Eight-Legged Freaks?
So
I've seen bits and pieces because my dad watched it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay.
funny.
So we will call it good there with that particular bombshell, since the next one goes into the episode's schedule problems. We've been talking about the story. We've been talking about the weird story defenses, but we're going to get into the production nightmare, I guess, because it seems like the first half of it is defending the creative decisions, and now we're going into the logistical problems.
Oh,
goody.
For the fucking Tempest.
Yep.
Don't forget the Last Watch documentary.
That was
and that's 11 pages of production hell that we're going to be reading.
So what is the idea going forward? We get done with the whole book or something? Or is it like we get done with most of it and then it's the Last Watch documentary and then we do the last part of the book? Or is it something else?
I don't know.
We still need to finish Return of the King.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my current thought. I want to get through this book very much because I am exhausted with just the constant negligence, the incompetence of the direction and the writing, and the consistent human rights violations or human like union stuff, and the outright endangerment via because of the negligence. We could do that, yeah. I want to kind of like let this go since we've been doing this for a long time. Yeah, Contempt for Human Life. Yeah, that one's pretty bad. Yeah, I'm so tired. I am so well. Yeah, I'm just so tired of this. I want to be done with this so that I can
just say one
like.
thing?
Yeah.
explosives in Morocco.
Oh yeah,
The-
yeah.
And
Never forget.
and weapons smuggling and international war crimes. Yes.
We should make a meme page, like a GIF of that. Like we
Really
were talking about
trifle.
something, and then someone's like, "What about explosives in Morocco?
Really a trifle.
Yeah.
What about the droid attacking the Wookiees?"
So here is my current line of thinking. One of these days, I want to finish the Chronicles of Narnia BBC thing.
Do I want to gouge my eyes out now or later?
At least the BBC Narnia is entertaining.
Yeah. And like, the thing with Voyage of the Dawn Treader, it's actually, like, technically competently written. It's just that they had, like, a $5 budget.
It's kind of charming, and it's sad sort of way.
If you have the right people, $5 goes a long, long, long way.
House of the Dragon ends with we don't know how it's going to end. Like, we know that the Dance of the Dragons ends with the main character getting eaten by a dragon while her son watches.
Her brother.
Both.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
well-
yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of forgot about how Rhaenyra dies.
No, I
Spoilers.
I just forgot.
The thing is, the legacy of Game of Thrones is gone, thanks to season 8.
Kind of,
The plot was destroyed in one episode. The world building was made moot in another episode. All of the characters either lost their development since the show began or betrayed their characters in one episode. And then the finale just destroyed whatever hope anything connected to this franchise had left. Like, are we actually excited for House of the Dragon, knowing that House Targaryen is going to end up this way?
Unless they purge this show from canon somehow, which I
Yeah.
doubt for a long time.
And it's so disappointing because they had so much talent behind and in front of the camera with the directors. It's just the showrunners that are the main problem.
It's funny. It's kind of irrelevant. I want to bring this point. I was working at Walmart the other day, and they had this new movie setup case, and they have like this Game of Thrones special going on right now, like the Iron Collection. I'm just looking at this thing. I'm like, I'm fucking wasting my money on this shit.
Yeah.
But people are buying it, and it's sad.
Yeah, I do. I am interested to see it. I am not seeing red flags like I am with Lord of the Rings. But that's mainly because Lord of the Rings is showing me a lot of red flags. I'm seeing maybe a couple of yellow flags with the Wheel of Time. But I am relatively hopeful of that one.
The thing is, what I mean is, even if House of the Dragon is good, will it matter?
Mm-hmm.
From at least from a story perspective.
Honestly, I don't know. I think that this is an interesting conversation for another time, because this is requires a lot. I think this will probably mean a lot more when we get to the bells.
Yeah.
Because
that's the episode that destroys all the characters.
Do we need a palate cleanser before we close this out?
I think there's a video that I sent you in Discord done that we could use as a palate cleanser.
Yeah, let's watch that. I do know that eventually, we're going to do Dunn's Dirty Little Secret.
Oh God!
Oh God!
Hell.
What is your dirty little secret?
Oh God! You don't want to fucking know.
May I make a polite suggestion?
What?
You might want to keep that private.
No comment.
if you can. In other words, not necessarily upload it so everyone, all your subscribers can see it. Keep it kind of private.
Well, the thing is, once they buy the book, once they buy Wrath of the Dragon in a couple years, they'll find it. They'll read it.
Good fucking god.
Well, you know best.
I must have missed.
I don't know.
What you guys are what the context is.
It's
something. Yes, it's more than we need to know
keep
about.
Up British Showcase, guys.
It's more than we need to know about his Dunn's fantasy life. At least back in the days when I was, at least when I had
he's turning into the dolphin again.
They were like different.
Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Spoilers.
Yep.
Yeah, so this... Okay, so
Who
if
cares
anyone
about
has not
Breaking
seen
Bad?
Breaking Bad,
Or
leave the
doesn't
stream
care.
right
if you,
now.
If
You should watch it, and you should be able
I
to
have
watch
not
it
seen
for the
I
first
have
time.
I have not seen Breaking Bad before.
Leave.
I have not
Go
either,
and
but
watch
I
it because you
seriously
deserve
do not care.
deserve to see it for the first
Yeah.
time without being spoiled. Okay.
It is like I accidentally got large portions of it spoiled for me.
Good.
But I still loved it. How
I
about we
wanted
keep this
to
for
show
another
it.
time? How about we keep it for
Yeah.
another time? How about
Something else then.
Since Breaking Bad is one of the best shows I've ever watched, is
Yeah,
at least
really.
top 3.
You wish.
It is at least top 3 of the best shows I've ever watched. Unironically, Breaking Bad is pretty much one of the most perfect things I've ever watched. I was, because I just described it, and I think dang done, you have issues was the quote when I just described the mechanics of what happened in the barest detail.
I think it was done. You're disturbed, but and it was me.
A little bit, yeah. Maybe.
Okay, there is another Breaking Bad video that doesn't really have that many spoilers in it.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. Yeah.
And it includes a very specific part.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you have the junkie thing, I can clip it.
That's the one I'm gonna show.
Yeah, perfect. That actually will be great, because then I can just clip it out of the show. And I can just make it full screen, I guess. Once you
all right, share screen.
Done.
Yep.
All right, can you see my screen now?
Yep. Full screen it, please.
Walter White versus James Cakeman.
Jesse. His name's Jesse.
Is this spoilers for anything?
No.
No, it doesn't spoil anything significant.
What the hell, man? What are you doing, man? You asshole! You told him my name. What's that to him?
My name, where I work, you told him about my son.
Don't touch me!
Damn junkie.
No, give me that!
This is going down the toilet. Watch it.
No, that's worth 40 grand, you stupid shit!
It's worth nothing when you smoke it all. Get off the toilet. Get off the toilet.
Run, Walter.
What the hell are they doing?
They're fighting over
I
some
can
meth.
tell you are just a drug addict. You are a pathetic junkie. Too stupid to understand and follow simple rudimentary instructions. Too stupid to
gosh, I love this show. This show is really funny.
Barrel somewhere.
Okay, I think I'll stop it there.
I love that show. I love this show. This show is so funny. But it's also like really dramatic and full of tension and actually scary. Like it.
Yeah, Aaron Paul, he has to be one of the most talented actors ever.
Yeah. And yet he's been like in mostly not good stuff other than Breaking Bad.
After Breaking Bad, like he's done nothing of note except for Westworld season 3. And I don't think anybody cares about that show anymore.
Yeah, especially at the Dave and Dan cameo. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah. Well, I think that might have actually been a subtle dig by the Westworld people, since they're like having a they're butchering a dragon. So
that really stinks.
I think that is more like a oh my goodness, I just seeing an article on The Guardian, Game of Thrones at 10, can a deluge of publicity preserve its legacy?
Oh no, that's impossible at this point.
Wait, what did you say?
Game of Thrones at 10, can a deluge of publicity preserve its legacy?
No.
What legacy?
Okay, I will. Okay, let me share that
It's
in the
the
Discord.
legacy. The
read
legacy
that.
of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Died with the finale.
The
We will-
legacy is failure.
The legacy, yeah, just like the legacy of the Jedi.
The legacy of Game of Thrones will be failure.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was fun. I think our brain cells have died.
What brain? What brain?
No,
What
I
brains do
think
we have left after this?
I was on fire today. Almost so on fire, I actually am alive now.
You were enraged, I think is the best way of saying it.
I think my brain fried.
Brain? What are those? I don't have one of those.
No, we're just techno beasts.
Just ethers, non-existent.
Brains are for 8th grade book reports.
They
too.
are indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay. Well, I think we'll conclude it there. We had fun. We only got through half of this chapter.
It was really shit.
You know,
It was a
it's just
whole-
like the season 7 chapter, except this is for one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems as though Three Body Problem, based on the fact that the guy who had the rights got murdered by one of his employees. Part 2 is we should have it next week, same time. 1 Mountain Standard Time, 2 Eastern, 3 Eastern Standard Time, 2 Central's Time. So, yeah, he was. Yeah, like it's a fact that like it's on like as foreseeable hiatus, and it just seems as though Mr. David and Dan, like, I don't know whether like Netflix will extend their thing and just say, okay, you have done basically nothing. You have done basically nothing for 5 years other than waste our money. Give it back now.
Oh,
because
wouldn't that be a riot?
Yeah, because like even with the pandemic, they were barely doing anything with that money that they got. That was like a 6-figure deal. Like
300 million, wasn't it?
I think it was like 300,000. It was like somewhere between 300 and 75,000, 750,000. somewhere between $250,000 and $750,000, and like it just seems as though like they're just doing like mostly just throwing around ideas for 2 or 3 years and not really doing much.
Well, they can't do anything with three-body problem being
$250 million. Oh wow, $250 million. Ouch. They've been basically doing nothing to like justify the investment. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's not really their fault that three-body problem happens to be in limbo at the moment, though. But I don't feel bad for them at all.
No.
Yeah, I think that it is like a problem because they put all of their that Netflix that would be Netflix. Yeah. Yeah, I think that just they didn't look into them.
No.
That is the only answer, because if they looked into them, I think that Netflix would be like, well, admittedly, like Netflix kind of has cash to burn at this point, but they still canceled a bunch of shows that were fairly good, like Dark Crystal, Altered Carbon.
Why on earth would you cancel shows that have ratings instead of shows that don't?
Because they're fucking stupid.
Like Disney kind of like, I know Star Wars kind of has a bit of a revolving door in terms of creators, but it seems though like Disney like dropped them really fast after Austin Film Festival. It was like literally 2 days after.
Yeah.
So I just think like I don't know like why Netflix hired them. It kind of seems as though Netflix just kind of was like they hired them and then sunk cost fallacy set in because we spent all this money on them. We've sold the farm to get the three-body problem, and now the three-body problem is in limbo.
Honestly, I would say Netflix can learn a lesson from this, and it's going to be a hard one.
Yeah, I would agree. Oh, the final panel. I've seen like large portions of it.
The funniest thing is they might just up the subscription fees again, like they did after the cutie stuff. So they might just recoup it.
Yeah. Since Netflix's model is a little bit more reliable than with Conan, no. I saw the
I remember people mentioning that
Comic-Con thing, and then Seth Rogen viciously roasting them.
Yeah, I know that there was like a reunion, quote unquote, with Sean Bean and a couple of others with Conan O'Brien.
There was also the rehearsal for the Comic-Con with Mr. Hibbard feeding them questions that would also show up in the Comic-Con thing that were supposedly made by fans, but in reality it was a dress rehearsal.
Well, then not surprised that we found out.
I posted all of the pages in the book in my Discord. If you need any references.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Alrighty. Yes.
Is it true that Hibbard said that Winds of Winter is almost here, and how would he know in the first place?
It's a bunch of bullshit.
I don't know.
Winds of Winter will not come out.
Oh yeah,
that's
what set me on fire was the fucking Game of Thrones fucking Twitter. Oh yeah, that little fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
All right, let me go look at it.
Yeah,
apparently Conan O'Brien has done a couple of different panels with Game of Thrones cast.
Yeah, I know there was an interview with Lena Headey where she was
notably a recent cast reunion.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I want to show you guys this.
I think one of my favorite interviews is actually when he had Lena Headey and Ron Swanson on the same show. Like Lena Headey was like, I want to touch his beard.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. Like Lena Headey is such a hilarious, like, just person.
Look at this fucking simple thing over here.
It's a little bit blurry. You might want to zoom in a little bit.
Right here. Look at this fucking piece of shit. Oh, winter is coming.
Wow.
Winter came and went in an hour.
I wanted a perfect ending. That's gaslighting. Have you ever seen it?
Wow, like that by 2030.
2023.
Honest, yeah, 2023. I hope so. We will definitely. Oh, the bottom one. Oh my god.
Huh?
Either remake that trash last season or no one cares. Winter is gone. You blew it.
Jesus.
And then just somebody said, "You made my day with a clear reimagining." Are you by some chance George R. R. Martin? Why did you have to disguise your voice?
Wow.
I need to listen one more time because it didn't catch up in Kids and King. More, please. Okay, so that was a Vision thing, as far as I know.
That was Doomcock made an alternate ending for his season,
and it was much better.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's how I feel.
Well,
Oh
could have
man,
beat the fuck out of you. It really shows that people really still fucking care.
Oh my god, this is so funny. Yeah, I knew this. Oh, what? Oh, some epic spoiled brats that didn't
wanted.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
It was epic, bro.
Yeah,
Acting like spoiled brats.
Who is this?
Wow.
They wanted.
Who is this?
Embarrassing.
Who is this? Scroll up. I want to see who this is.
Some idiot.
Yeah, obviously some idiot. Oh my goodness.
Please do some behind the scenes research.
What's amazing about it? Almost everything.
Okay, okay.
Oh my god.
It was amazingly bad.
Including the human rights violations.
Especially the human rights violations.
And didn't more than 50% of the fans enjoyed season 8. I don't think that's.
Wait, who is this
more
guy? Head instructor of arts, martial arts.
Let's. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
All opinions are made up to piss people off. What?
More than 50% and didn't have. Game of Thrones was critically panned at the end.
Yeah.
Press X to doubt.
They get rushed. Dude, they ruined the entire season, which let that taste in their mouth.
They did not ruin the entire season. They ruined the entire series.
There's nothing to do with
You could
being
just not
spoiled
watch
brats.
it.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's not like somebody paid for it to watch this.
Why? Yeah, are we sinking to making fun of Twitter?
Yeah,
it's funny. Yes, we
that's
are.
what we're doing now.
I can't. I think the book reviews are honestly funnier. Because...
It was 100% garbage from start to finish, and insult to people who had put 7 years into watching the show. So I'm not exactly
This is a fucking parody. I would do this just to parody.
Yeah. So this is a good point. 55% on a critic aggregator, which is more like 55% on a school test, is considered horrifically bad. Yeah, that's like a C or an F.
No, it's not a C. It's a D or an F.
Yeah.
A C is
this
70.
is. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I mean, hack job. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and
It was a hack job. Yeah.
Post-production issues, amateur hour post. Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah. Yes, I think we'll have to conclude it there at 3.5 hours. Thank you. Yeah, sorry to go on like the Twitter thing. It was just really funny to see like the difference of opinion.
Palate cleanser.
It's so funny to see the differences of opinion where it's just like the people who are asking like who say that they like it are very vague, whereas the people who don't like it are very, very specific
and very detailed.
Yeah, because they tend to actually think about these things.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I changed my mind now.
Yeah. All right. So
fascinating reading people who are trying to bend over backwards to defend this shit. We should do a whole stream of just reading people's comments on like defending the show.
Yes.
Twitter is
have you ever been to Quora, the website where you like?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have.
I was arguing with people on fucking Quora during season 7's time, and people were bending over backwards defending the White Hunt.
My pleasure. It was fun to see you. Thank you. You added a great deal to the chat. Hopefully you come onto the Discord. I'd love to have you on the show at some point. That might be great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we will end with this.
I think you've got to start wondering what the hell is this plot.